But that morning, I went to pick up, me and my buddy Mike Ronnie went to pick up, we used to deliver appliances.
What kind, like fridges and shit?
Yeah, like.
Did someone buy them or you just found them?
No, we would get subcontracted.
Oh, okay.
And you would deliver the washer and dryer and shit. Yeah.
We'd have to go to this place. We pull up at the place. And there's 30 air conditioners on the loading dock. I go in, I give the guy the bill. No cameras in those days either. I give the guy the bill of lading. He gives me the paperwork. The retard kid comes over. I'll help you with the refrigerator. He carries it in. Then the guy gets in his car, one of his buddies. I'm going to get high. 50 fucking air conditioners in the thing. I go, Mike, open up the back of that thing. What are you going to do? Just shut your mouth. We started putting fucking air conditioners in that thing. 10, 20. I was like the UPS man. I took every last air conditioner.
All of Brooklyn had air conditioning on that block.
No, Jersey. We dropped off the refrigerator and we turned that motherfucker around and we just drove down the boulevard. $100 a piece, an air conditioner. It's July. It was June. It was like stealing.
Oh, yeah.
We sold them within 1 hour.
I'll bet.
We split the fucking money. I went over to McGrath's house, my 8th grade teacher, my football coach, the running back coach.
Slash bookie.
And I bought 1,000 of those little gram bottles of Coke from him.
Oh, my God.
And I went out with my friends. I told I was going to meet her at Joe and Mary's, but I took like a fucking Quaalude. And me and my buddies got fucked up. I woke up the next morning, I left it stiff. So, and we did the same shit every week. Tuesday was McSorley's Ale. Shillelagh's was in Jersey City. 30 cents for an Alabama Slammer. And 5 cents for a mug of beer till 10 o'clock.
Damn.
At 10:01,
5 cents.
You couldn't find a friend.
Yeah.
10:01, the place was vacant. It was fucking crazy.
We're out of here.
10:01. At 9:45, people would get 3 mugs and 3 drinks. Like you see people drinking out of 3 straws and shit. Wednesday was ladies' night at the Dome, and Thursdays was another ladies' night. So we attacked them because they were 50 cents drink. So come here. Here's a 10. Go buy you and the 6 whores a drink and bring me one. You know,
6 whores.
So for $7, you were a hooker. You were
Hell yeah.
Really? Yeah, I'm a big shot tonight. Well, so I saw her down there, and I apologized to her. I'm sorry. In fact, I saw her on a Wednesday down there, and I said, I'm sorry about last night. I got fucked up. And she goes, I said, well, how about dinner tomorrow? And I took her to Piccolissimo in Fort Lee, New Jersey, like a doctor. There was adults that hadn't been to Piccolissimo. I forget what the guy's name was. The guy has a weird name. He's missing his stomach, though.
What?
He owns the restaurant.
It's always something.
That's not a good sign.
Hold on, I'll find
That's a hell of a curse to own a restaurant and be missing your stomach.
The stomach had a dish called lobster fra diablo.
No wonder he burned his stomach out. No wonder he doesn't have
Okay.
Fra Diablo is the best.
The name of this thing was lobster fra diablo.
Yeah.
His name was Johnny Monaco. And he owned Piccolissimo. He had no stomach, so he'd always be fucking like looking at your food. And I go, Johnny, eat a clam. I can't. You know, I got no stomach.
I have never met somebody without
I was a kid, and I'm going up there fucking giving orders. Because we'd get like a score, and I'd go up there and drop money. Give them a drink. Give them all a drink. You know. Go ahead. Don't worry about nothing. And people would get pissed. It was like that scene when Belushi went to the restaurant and Blues Brothers.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Like, it was white people in Fort Lee. And I would go up there with 16 gorillas. So I took her on a date up there. They brought you a dish. I'm not even exaggerating. It was this big that looked like a fish. And in the middle was pasta. It was surrounded by clams, mussels, and shrimp to the deck.
God
and
damn.
then on the top, 2 big lobster tails that were cracked open with red sauce on top.
Oh.
No. De pinga. You'd put your little thing on. She was in heaven. She's eating this fucking thing. Then we get out of there. I take it down by the Binghamton. The Binghamton was a boat that you could go on and have a few drinks. There was a movie theater there. That's why I saw 48 Hours and Ghostbusters. But outside of there,
your memory is something
if you snorted coke out there after like 20 minutes, you'd hear the rats from the Hudson River would try to chip away at your car. It was fucking crazy.
At your car are coming
It was crazy. And Fernie Basasudo had a hole in his car. So we had to put a fucking piece of 2x4 over it whenever we went down there to make out with chicks and shit. You know, we used to drink beers and throw them out of the hole.
Oh, that's great.
And people be driving going, what the fuck?
That's all that rust. My buddy had a Volkswagen with floorboards rusted out too. His foot fell through one time on the highway. Oh shit! He's like, he's yelling. We're trying to stop the car. His foot's through it.
So I take this little Tritches. Her name was Lisa Tritches, and she had a sister named Sue. She looked just like Pat Benatar in the first video of You Better Run with the red and white shirt on. I even made her get a red and white shirt. I'm gonna go get a red and white shirt on.
Yeah.
You're looking like Pat. And we started swapping spit, and I started eating her pussy. And she started, and I remember she used to put talcum powder in her pussy, because when I opened it up, a bunch of it came out and hit me in the face. You know what I'm saying? And that bitch is on Facebook. She ain't dying of ovarian cancer. She's kicking. She's from Jersey. But she had a shot of talcum powder hit me in the face. And I ate her pussy. She was banging on the top of the car. I had her out there fucking both legs eating. I put a Coke rock on her pussy. No dick. I cut her off from the dick. No dick tonight. I'm dropping you off at home, and don't even look at me sideways. And then I went over there fucking Friday night. I dropped her off like a gentleman, and we made plans Saturday night to eat a pussy. Saturday night I was gonna fuck her. And we went out, we went to a party. I got into a fight in the party. My hand got stuck in a barbed wire fence. Right here as he was taking me down. I stuck my hand in the fence and went in there. I'm like, God damn it. Cops came. Me and my boy and her and a piece of ass she had, Tasia Romano. Tasia Romano was a hot piece of ass. But
Tasia Romano, that's a name.
Oh, listen to this. This was one of those bitches that for 6 months she looked good, and for 6 months she show up looking like Lee. So I used to call her Tasia Romano Big Fat Piano, because she would go, then for fucking 6 months she would not eat a thing, and she'd puke and vomit. This bitch was fine to the bone. And Stinky, my friend Stinky, used to give her the Maluk stick for. So now we're double dating.
During what 6 months?
He gave it to her like over 4 years, every once in a while.
In the winter.
So Tasia took Glenn to the other room. I got Tritches in the other room. Now she's playing Catholic girl. She's starting to cry. I don't know. It hurts. Don't put it too close to my pussy. I got a half gram in my pocket. I don't need this aggravation. You know what I'm saying? So at 6 in the morning, I go, listen, get your life together. We'll go throw some holy water on it. It's like it never happened. I was a gentleman. And I go, listen, I got a half a G in my pocket. This will get me home. And I walked home. And guys, as I walked into the door where I was living, the phone rang, and it was her. And she goes, I thought about it. Let's do it. And I go, all right. And she picked me up. It was 7 in the morning. Went back to her house. I gave her a stab, and there was blood. There was tears. There was a lot of rubbing the back. And then you got to rub that back.
I was going to say, who's back?
I got to rub her back. She was on me. I'm not a virgin. I'm going to go to hell. Don't worry about it.
Oh,
there's plenty of dick in hell. It's a party.
Guilt.
Let's start this fucking thing. So,
damn.
And guess what? Like a week later, I saw her. She was very cold to me. Then we had a couple of like weird discussions. I was totally in love with her. Like I was in love with her for reals. I would have gotten married at that age. Like that's how in love with her I was. But after those 2 weeks, I was like, you know what, something ain't right here. This is something beyond my control. And I was a criminal. I had no future. And I couldn't see there was no future. There was just no fucking future. So I kind of walked away from her a little bit. I went to Colorado. I heard she was dating some other guy, eating pills and partying and shit. Good friend of mine. I never held it accountable. Never even mentioned it to him. That was, me and her were long done. And then I went back to New York one day, and I went to a coke dealer's house, and there she was, looking beautiful. She said hello. We talked a little bit, and she said, let's stay in touch. And between you and I, in my mind, the coop had flown already. It wasn't that I wanted to fuck her. I really liked her. I grew up with her. I've been around her for the last, since 1978, I'd been around this girl. But something wasn't right, and 6 months later I called her because she was a travel agent. And I asked her if she'd get me and my buddy Stinky plane tickets to Hawaii. And she goes, call me tomorrow. I'll give you a quote. And when I called her the next day, she goes, I got to be honest with you. I'd rather you never call me again.
Really?
Yeah, just like that. And I said, okay, que sera, sera. At the age of 21, I got one of my biggest lessons of love. Fuck them, send them roses, and move the fuck on, bitch. Greetings from Podcastville. It's Thursday, the 15th of August. A beautiful motherfucking day to be alive. The Church of What's Happening Now is brought to you by Vincero Watches. Listen to me. They got an anniversary sale going on. It's on, guys. Vincero Watches is having their biggest sale of the year. The more you shop, the more you save. The more you save, I'm sorry. You could literally save thousands. This only happens once a year. Everything at Vincero.com is on sale. Nothing is off limits. Vincero just dropped 2 new collections, a line of men's wallets and watches. They're all on sale. So do me a favor right now. Go to VinceroWatches.com to shop their biggest sale of the year. That's VinceroWatches.com with their biggest sale of the year. Remember, they offer free shipping worldwide. The Church of What's Happening Now is also brought to you by one of my all-time favorites, ExpressVPN. You're like, Joey, what's ExpressVPN? I'm going to tell you. Internet privacy is mort. Dead. Done. Put away the whip. The pony's dead. ExpressVPN runs in the background of your computer, phone, and then when you use the internet, it's just as normal as you would. You download the app, click to connect, and voila! You're protected. Viola, voila, I don't know words, all right? It shields your identity, no location tracking, and you're totally anonymous. You download the ExpressVPN app on your computer or phone, push one button, and voila! You're protected. Now, find out how you can get 3 months for free. Joey, what are you talking about? I'm going to give you 3 months for free at expressvpn.com/church. Again, that's ExpressVPN. Grab a pen. ExpressVPN.com/church. CHURCH. For 3 months free when you buy a 1-year package. Who helps you out like your Uncle Joey? Nobody. Go to expressvpn.com/church right now and learn more and take back your privacy, all right? Take back your privacy with expressvpn.com. Lee, you know what the fuck to do. Kick this motherfucking mule. The Church of What's Happening Now, my man Ryan motherfucking Sickler.
It was a pleasure to be here on the anniversary of your. Would that be your inaugural incarceration?
Inaugural. That's the first one.
It is a pleasure to be here on that anniversary, my friend.
It was a Monday morning, and that Friday at 4:30 they called.
So that's what I wanted to ask you. Did you know you were going, or did you get caught in something and taken right to it?
No, I knew.
You were going to court that day.
I knew there was a good chance of me going to prison, but I didn't know for sure till that Friday.
And what was this one for?
This was for the kidnapping.
This was kidnapping.
They called and they said, the attorney goes, "Are you sitting down?" And he goes, "Department of whatever turns you down, community corrections." They turned you down. So you got 2 options. You're looking at prison, or you're looking at me putting you into a work release program, but if community corrections turns you down, you can't stay in the community. So he goes, right now you're looking at a 10%, 90-10. Whatever you do this weekend, have a good weekend.
Oh,
and
shit.
You're walking into court Monday at 9. And right there, I sat. I got a little crushed. I took the chicken I was cooking out. I like that little grease on the side where you put your Italian bread in. I ate it, and I go, fuck it. If this is my last weekend, I might as well make it a good one. I didn't cry. I didn't freak out. I knew this day was coming. When was the question? So right there I go, I'm not going to go to jail. I'm going to talk this judge out of it. Like, that's how cocaine and how retarded I was. I'm going to go tell this judge what time it is.
Not a second of any fucking kind
I wasn't going to write a speech or nothing. I was just going to go in there and tell him what was going on here. Look, he was selling drugs. Me and my friends were taking the drugs off the street. Where I come from, that's a superhero. Okay, so knock it off with the jail time here. This is a conversation amongst men. The cocaine's off the street. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Everybody's alive. Let's wrap this up.
You're welcome.
Why are we going to pay the tax fucking payers? Why are we going to burden the taxpayers? That was
He's
the
all the
speech
way, right.
that I went and intended.
That cocaine told you to say.
That was the cocaine.
Yeah.
And all weekend long, you should have heard me. I was like fucking Trump without the teleprompters. I was fucking practicing and like telling them like this is what went down your round, and it's no big deal.
It's no big deal.
No big
to a
deal.
judge.
You know what I'm saying? And I never forget walking in there on Monday, and he looked me up and down, and my attorney saying, he'd like to address the speech. He'd like to address the court. And I took 2 steps forward. And as I went to speak, my voice disappeared. I sounded like a little fucking mousy fag. I was like, Your Honor, I just want you to know that. And it just broke and broke and broke. Like, he looked like a little Fidel Castro with a compact head. He had a tiny little head, but it was all hair. He looked like a baby gorilla. Mm-hmm. All you could see were lips and 2 little white Italian eyes. I remember that. He told me to step back. Like I had broken apart. Like I just fell apart. Like I'm not ashamed to say it. Whatever speech, whatever I had been doing on playgrounds and parks and delis for 20 years, he scared the fuck out of me. Like I broke. And he goes, all right, stand up. 4 to 6 years, Department of Correction. My buddies were there. My girlfriend was there. Family was there.
Do you go to Rikers for that?
No, I was in Colorado at the time.
Oh, you're in Colorado at the time. Okay.
And then I just said goodbye. Like I just hugged. I was starting college Wednesday. I was starting
2
classes.
days later.
2 days later. So we argued that fact. And listen, because I had like an ounce of coke. And I had about a half ounce of coke at the house. Plus, I had 3 buddies that had flown out from New York, and they were holding. They hadn't slept in 3 days. They're in court sweating bullets, trying to give fucking, we want to give a reference. Smelling of alcohol. You know what I'm saying? Mike Duffy, Tommy Russo, and some other guy, Sabatino, showed up on a fucking Sunday morning. They were at the airport. We came out to give you support. We'll be at the courtroom. You can hear him. And the Russo guy at the time was married to a 16-year-old chick. Like, he was married to an underage chick or some shit.
What?
And they showed up in my courtroom like nothing. And here's the really ironic thing about life. That I shook all their hands. I cried when I hugged my girlfriend. I felt really bad for her family. I couldn't make eye contact with her family. But when they led me in the back cell, like the first cell, there was a camera. You know, I had a suit on. I took the jacket off and I left the shirt with the tie. I loosened my tie. I was overwhelmingly tired. Like it had this was the stress of, since 1979, I knew that this day was going to come. Once I put her in the ground, I knew this day was coming.
It was 88, you said?
It was 88.
So it took 9 years.
It took 9 years.
Wow.
I stayed out playing this fucking cat and mouse game for 9 years. And I'll never forget, this is how weird God works. I went to fold my jacket, and wherever my hand landed, I felt something in the jacket. Oh, shit. And I went into the inside pocket, and there was it was a Coke bindle. And when I tried, because there was a camera on me, so I had to go by the sink. I mean, the fucking cell.
This is what I love about you. I wasn't going to do it. I had to go by the sink because there was a camera. Yeah, you're in now.
I'm in.
You're in now.
How many people could say that they snorted a gram of blow in county jail? Not too many. That's historic time shit. I went over by the sink. I opened it up. And there it was. I still had cash. I still had my wallet. I still had my belongings. They hadn't processed me. I took the dollar bill. I rolled it up. And I did the whole fucking thing in 2 blasts. Wow. I was fucked up for 15 minutes. I was jawing, and do you know, next thing I know, they were waking me up.
Waking you up? What happened?
Because of I was
going to say, you're the adrenaline,
the weight of the world was done.
That was a natural speed.
It was 9 years of fucking hiding from people, robbing from people. I was at peace. Nobody could get to me. The phone couldn't ring. Nobody in this prison knew me. It was like I fell asleep, and I remember them waking me up, and I was really out of it. Like, I was tired. Like, this had been 10 years of me not sleeping, like not having peaceful sleep, going to sleep knowing that I got to get up tomorrow and fucking go rob Sickler's house. I got to get up tomorrow and figure out how to get through Burbank without seeing Lee. Lee's going to go to all my spots tomorrow and try to blow my game up because I just robbed Lee. Lee's just finding out right now he's missing a kilo. So right now, Lee's attacking all my spots. So it was like 9 years of that type of stress just fell off my shoulders.
I think you might have mentioned it before, but like, why didn't you like? How much of you thought about running when your lawyer told you you were going to jail? Like, I don't know where you'd go, Mexico.
America's Most Wanted had just started. And 2 years prior to that, I read an article about a guy that it was 1980. And in 1951, he was at a party. And he was making out with some chick, and he bit her in the neck.
What?
Bit her, and he took a piece of meat out of her.
Damn.
And it was assault, and his parents took the kid and got him out of there. And he moved into a new residential area. And he went to college under an assumed name and started a new life. And never again, for 30 years, did he even have police contact. And then one day he got into a car accident. He went to the hospital. They fingerprinted into the background check, and now he was wanted for murder.
Oh, he killed her when he bit
killed
her.
her.
Oh, I
He
didn't
did
realize she
something. He
died.
killed her,
Holy
yeah.
shit.
So I thought about that story. I thought about the story about, yeah, I get away with it now. What about 30 years from now
Right.
when I'm in fucking my kid, I got to go to a hospital, God forbid, and they fingerprint me, and there I am. Because they usually do background checks when you go to a hospital ward. A lot of people know that. There's hotels that do background checks. When you call an airline, as you're speaking to them, they're doing a background check.
Yeah, I
especially
believe
if you've
that.
flown them before.
Yeah.
Or everything's coming up. So background checks weren't moving that fast then. But I still remember a story in Boulder about a guy way before I got arrested. Way before I even thought of getting arrested. He was driving on a Saturday afternoon, Sunday afternoon, got into a car accident. His wife and baby died. He ran from the scene. Once they got him, they realized that he was a murderer from Florida that was wanted for 20 years.
No way.
So I always knew that the odds were against you. When you run, the odds will always be against
That's
you.
that fucking, what's his name? Robert Durst shit.
And if you run,
Run for all
you
of
got to remember that once they get you, now you can't make bail because you're a flight risk. I don't want to be known as a flight risk.
You figure just get it over with?
Get it over with. There was no running. I didn't go to prison for the crime of kidnapping Vela. Yeah, we terrorized him that afternoon and tied him up and put him in the trunk of a car, but that happens when you be a cook. Till this day, I love Kent.
I saw the picture.
I
He
love
looked
Kent.
scared to death, man. He still looks scared
I love
to death.
Kent. I love Kent.
He was waiting for somebody to come up behind him.
And I love anybody who I did that to. You know what I'm saying? But they all have to know that they were also involved. If you do the time, if you do the crime, you got to do the time. Once you put yourself into that world,
That's what I say. There is a lifestyle.
there is a lifestyle that comes with it. You have to strack. You got to watch who you trust. You got to watch who you talk to. There was a lot of, if Lee comes to me tomorrow and says, I'm out of the podcast visit, I'm getting into the cocaine business, I'm going to give him a month and I'm going to rob him just out of principle because I know he doesn't know what he's doing. I know for a fact he's going to go to a bar with one of his chunky bitches, be over there eating an ice cream sundae with a kilo in his refrigerator. I'll send you over there for a small nickel to hold him there, and I'll break into his house and take the kilo.
You're going to come out of retirement just to get me?
No, but I'm just saying that, that was the
That's
Oh,
what
okay,
people would
got it,
do.
okay.
That's the mentality. That's the, if you were going to be that dumb, I got to rob you. If you're going to be that fucking stupid.
I know. I
kill
can't
it.
tell you how many people I know out here that grew weed, 15 years ago, had a bunch of it in their place, told everybody, and then people are outside sitting on the place, and one night they come in, fucking 5 of them, shotguns, masks.
Fuck.
They know where everybody is. They know what room everyone get him out of the video game room. Boom, pulled them all out, made them all. It was 4 dudes I knew and one of them's sister. Made them all strip naked, lay face down on the kitchen floor, and they took everything. I mean, TV, they took everything. And then they rolled out and said, if any of you get up and call the police, we'll be back in 5 minutes. There's another car out there waiting to kill you. And they just laid there for a while and then finally called. But they got hit twice because they talk too much. They tell everybody, we got all this weed. I mean, stop telling everybody that. You're telling everybody where you live these days on Facebook. I'm out of town. That's another one. I know you'd all be on that shit. Lee's out of town for a week. Let's go to his place and steal the fucking Coke out of the fridge.
When I leave town, I got fucking cameras. I got that Sebastian security system put in, the one he talks about on stage. Because I had the basic. I went all out. The fucking neighbors are very watchful on that block. You have to be. I don't take anything for granted because I know that's when I would rob people at their most vulnerable. When they were the most vulnerable that they were. That's when I'd fucking take you down. When you didn't even know it. When you get sloppy. Can't get sloppy in life. I made a living out of people getting sloppy. There was a day where I would put a suit on. There was days I would just put a suit on. And you see all these buildings on Lancashire?
Yeah.
I would just walk up and down the buildings. I'd knock on doors. Hey, is Ryan Sickler here? No, there's no Ryan Sickler here. Sorry. But then you get the white assholes. Hold on, let me check.
Yeah.
Let me look in the log. Mind your business. Do your work. You know how many times I knocked on the door and there'd be a purse sitting on a fucking... You know how many times I knocked on the door open and there'd be a deposit bag on a desk? And I'd look out in the hallway, nobody, and I'd put the deposit bag, take a walk, and there'd be $2,000 in there.
Damn.
I can't tell you how many days I had those. That had to happen 5 times to me.
You just walk through the building.
Just walk through the building like I owned it. I remember getting sent on a job interview one time. I robbed the joint.
I robbed the joint.
They told me 10 o'clock. I'm conscientious. I'm there at 9:30.
Yeah, hell yeah.
They got the whole place open, the safe wide open. Safe was wide open. I kept knocking. Hello. Oh, what do we have here? I walked out of there and I had a suit on. I took so much change that the suit was sideways. I even took the bag of nickels inside. I'm walking around sideways with the suit. It never ended. So.
All right. So back to you going into prison. You just snorted cocaine. Now, are they taking you on a bus right to the penitentiary?
No, they're putting me in Boulder County Jail for a few days.
But a bus to the county jail?
No, you're right there.
Oh, it's right there.
Courtroom
Okay.
in those days was connected.
So, boom, you're in a cell in county jail first. Are you with a solo? Are you in a bunch of people?
I'm in general pop.
All right. And how many people would you say is in there?
20 per unit.
And are you
30
scared?
per unit.
Are you scared? I like to think I'm a man. I'd be scared to fucking. I ain't even trying to fucking. I whatever they told me to do, I'd just curl up.
Well, you got to
in
remember the
corner.
word gets out as soon as you go in there. What are you in there for? Kidnapping one and kidnapping two with a machine gun? You're not going to make friends right off the bat. It's not
And
like
the
that
kidnapping thing also sounds like it involves children. That's the thing that's confusing about kidnapping.
had nothing to do with children.
Right. It's about moving a person's body
from one room to another.
Right. Yes.
But
against their
would
will.
it help you? I always, my plan, if I ever went to prison, was to hit a guard and just go into solitary. Because I don't think I'd survive.
I mean, you might go to the fucking hospital before you go to
solitary.
solitary.
In solitary? I don't mean either way. But does like the kidnapping with a machine gun make you seem like a badass or no?
Yes. So when I walked in with the kid, and it was in the paper and the whole thing.
And these people know when you're coming in. They know what you're coming in for. They start finding out.
No, I walked in with a fucking Armani suit on and a white shirt on, looking like Tom Jones in Midway when he take the tie off.
Yeah.
And I got sentenced at 9:30 in the morning. I didn't make it to a cell till about 8 o'clock at night.
Damn, that's a
the
long day.
fingerprinting and the bullshitting
processing.
and the talking and what's going to happen and the paperwork I had to sign. So by the time I hit the cell, it was like Monday night preseason football was on, and I watched football for a little while. I made a couple collect calls, let people know, how's my girlfriend doing, and while they were going through it. And then the next day is when you go see like a counselor, and he told me that you got sentenced to this. This is what's about to happen. This is what They started telling me everything you're eligible for. And then the guy said, listen, you might be in luck because the prisons are so backed up that you're not going to see diagnostic till December or January.
What's that?
Diagnostic is where you have to go first, so they do testing on you and determine what prison you're going to be sent to. They give you a class or a grade, and it determines what prison you're going to be sent to. So I sat and I go, so how long will I be in county jail for? And they go, December, January. And that's good because it's 2 for 1. So I'm getting 2 days for the price of one. And she goes, but you might get transferred. And I go, where am I going to get transferred? And she goes, we just signed a deal with half the inmates are going to go to Missouri. And the other half are going to go to Texas. And I go, can't sign me to either of those. I don't have any family there. And they're like, well, you should have thought about that before you kidnapped the motherfucker. Have a great day. The night before, like the next day, the next night, they were like, these next people, pack up your bundles, you're leaving in the morning. Diaz. I'm like, fuck. Where we going? None of your fucking business. Go to sleep, Invict. You know, you don't know nothing. And you got a visit tomorrow morning. You just got off the phone with your girlfriend. She's bringing you your clothes tomorrow. And your books and shit. You just cut a deal to fucking come at 2. And next thing you know, they're waking you up at 6, and they took me to Summit County Jail, which is like going from the YMCA in North Hollywood to the YMCA in Hollywood. Have you ever been to the YMCA in North Hollywood?
No.
It looks like fucking what the gym looked like at fucking Auschwitz. When you go to that thing over there, they got a pool with no towels. Like, they're definitely going to do something bad to you over there. You ever go to the pool? Go to NoHo. It's like Lucille Ball was in there in that shower and stuff. Nice people, great place, but it's fucking Auschwitz over there. The weightlifting, the whole fucking thing. Go to the Hollywood Y. Sandra Bullock donates $2 million a year to the sauna and jacuzzi. When you go in the Hollywood Y sauna, when you come out, the jacuzzi, the bubbles, your skin feels like fucking glass.
It's nice, huh?
It's beautiful. They got a steam bath. They got a sauna. They got a heated pool. So I went to Summit County Jail. You could wear your clothes, hang out in the sun all day. They didn't bother you. And at 10 o'clock, the jailer went to the supermarket for you.
Come on.
He went to the A&P for you.
A&P. I haven't heard that in so long.
And you would pay him whatever, $20, and he'd get you chips, cold cuts, a sandwich, a gallon of milk, Cheerios, whatever you wanted. So every night around 9, we'd give him money. He'd come back around 10. You get your nightly shit. I think one of the guys got the guards to get him booze for Halloween because no, I'm lying to you guys because I never even made Halloween. I got to that place like August 19th. They told me I wouldn't make diagnostic till January. My attorney was so good, I made diagnostic by August 24th.
Oh, okay.
So when I was up in Summit County, they came to me and said, you're packing it up and leaving tomorrow morning. God damn it, where am I going now? We'll tell you in the morning. And then that morning, they took us to diagnostic. That's like a 4-hour fucking bus ride to Canyon City. Nothing to eat, shackled next to people. But I had a good time at Summit County Jail.
It sounds like it.
4 or 5 days.
It sounds like it.
I met this very interesting dude at that place I've never, ever forgotten. That told me, didn't tell me. I read his police reports, and it was what he did. He got caught for drugs by the feds, selling the Fed 8 kilos of coke.
Jesus.
And he cut the deal to get the 8 kilos back and take 8 kilos that he had to cut a bigger deal, and the feds could take everybody in.
So you're telling me he's getting his 8 back. And
Listen to the deal he made. This is why I always tell you anything is possible. He got arrested like right now.
I'm selling you 8 kilos, you're undercover.
Boom, undercover. They took him back to a police station. He goes, hold on 1 second. Why are we doing this? I know a place we could sell to the guy and get his connection to come up. And he told him some story and the feds bought it.
Like, I'm going to get you the big fish.
Right. So he picked up a phone. He called. The feds were all in. The next day, he was to get his 8 kilos back, go to his house, get the other 16 pounds he had, bundle it, and take it to a house and drop it off, and the cops are going to swarm that house.
Okay.
The cops surrounded the house. The guy did exactly what he was told to do, pull up, walk into the house. The cops outside waited 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 15 minutes, 20 minutes. Our friend already had a car parked around the corner, arranged. He got in the car with one of his buddies and went right back to New York with the 16 kilos, and they didn't find him for 6 years.
6 years.
They caught him, they extradited him, and they brought him back to Colorado. But we used to play handball all day. My suntan, you should have seen the suntan I had. At Summit County Jail. I
Are
looked
you
like a
saying the
fucking
best
Jamaican.
suntan you've ever had in your
my
life
God.
was in jail?
Oh, my God. When I was at Summit County Jail, I looked like a fucking movie star. You understand me? I looked like Ricardo Montalban. No SPF, nothing. I just stay out there all day playing fucking handball. You know what I'm saying?
Sounds like you kind of want to go back.
Oh, keep it up. I'm going to stab you and go back. I swear to God, it was one of the best fucking 6 days of my life.
It sounds like it, for real. They're going to get you cold cuts and shit.
You would walk into the fucking receptionist's office and call. Those Colorado jails are like fucking jokes. Where Bundy escaped from Aspen County Jail, all those jails.
Oh, that's where
jokes.
he escaped, yeah.
Yeah, he said he was going to make a call and jumped out a window. The last time I checked in '83, that Aspen County Jail didn't have a cafeteria, so they got all their meals catered. So they would get breakfast at the time from Paul LaFrance. They get like a bayonet, like they get like a fucking croissant
Jesus.
with egg whites and broccoli on a croissant. It was tremendous. Everybody knew if you're gonna
That's
get
the
arrested,
place.
go to fucking.
Yeah.
Then they took me to a place, Diagnostic, and that was what you see in the movies.
That's what it was called, diagnostic.
Diagnostic, and
It's a penitentiary.
it's connected to 3 or 4 different prisons.
Holy shit.
But they put you through there for 14 days to determine you physically, mentally, psychologically. They put you through everything. They run you through a gamut of tests. And then once you're there, you determine where they're going to go.
It's all right, you're now going here. So where do they send you from there?
So I had 3 options. I had rifle.
Give you options?
Yeah. I didn't know. No, I didn't have no options. I had my option.
The options were.
Right. The options were. Okay, so you rate a person when you go to prison on different things. Did he have a job at the time of his arrest? First time offender. Did he have a job? Did he have a high school diploma? Was he attending school? So I had my attorney had made me cover all these things. So when I went, my points would be off. So in those days, the court system had a thing that if a point system, that's a location you had to be at. So if you were between 0 and 2, you belonged in the halfway house. Do you know what I was? Minus 1.5.
Where do you belong?
That meant my eligibility meant that I should just go, diagnose, and turn around into a community corrections facility. But community corrections had turned me down because of the weapon.
I see.
So that's my real story. Because I got the GED, I was working at the time of my arrest. It was basically my first arrest on paper.
Yeah, all right.
We got
Document.
Yeah, we made a call and got rid of all the arrest records in New Jersey. That's one call away. My friends know exactly how to pull that off.
Oh, that's great.
Everything was cleared in Jersey. There was no violence in my police record. So my attorneys also turned the kidnapping into a nonviolent crime. That was his point from the beginning. He was, you're going to get in trouble.
You're going to get it, but let's dial it back.
But I'm going to dial it back.
Okay.
I'm going to hire a public investigator. I'm going to take your testing. Now, at that time, I had only one act of violence. I'd hit a guy in the head with a Heineken bottle on 80th Street and Kennedy Boulevard 3 days after he graduated high school. I didn't graduate, but it was like 3 days after graduation. All of us were fucking jizzed up. And one Sunday night, we're out hanging out, and the car makes a U-turn, and with a little dum-dum-dum-dum-dum-dum-dum. We're on the boulevard, and this guy wants to be Joe Muscles. And he said something. It was 4 of us. He said something, and he came out of the car with an axe handle, with no axe handle. And as he was walking towards us, I had a Heineken. I fucking just tipped it over, emptied it, and as he got 8 feet from me, I just went into a Roger Clemens wind-up. And it busted in his head, blood shattered, fucking, you thought fucking Mickey Mantle had hit a home run. The driver fucking turned white, and the kid stumbled around a little bit, blood, and he just got in the fucking convertible, whatever they had, and sped off. I never heard nothing about it. A week later, the cops knocked on my door. And he showed up in court. I had to go down to court. My stepdad, fucking hysterical, you know. And I knew everybody in the court. My friend Louis Castellito's mother was the court clerk. You know how it was, Doug.
Of course.
I'm shaking hands
Of
with
course, they're all.
the judge is looking at all this
You
shit.
coming over for Meatball Sunday? I'll be there.
It was fucking hysterical. But I'll never forget the case before me was a guy named Freddie Rupp. Freddie Rupp was a Viet.
Oh, and this is the what before you?
The case before me.
You
that
can
day.
remember the fucking random
Because it was
dude's
one of the,
name.
It was one of the funniest. I knew Freddie Rupp in the neighborhood.
Oh, you knew Freddie. Okay.
Freddie Rupp was an older guy that was just in and out of jail. That was just, he would really kill you. And he was really a character. And he was 3 or 4 days away from killing somebody. This was his 20th time in front of this judge. And he, like me, 8 years later, the cocaine had convinced him that he was going to talk the judge
hell yeah.
out of. This is one of my first times ever in court without my parents. Like when I was a kid, I would always go to court with my mom for bookmaking. But this is one of the first times they told me sit and watch. And I'll never forget when Mrs. Castellito looked up. And you know, Mrs. Castellito just came to see me at the West Palm Beach Improv.
Are you
last year
serious?
with her son Louis. They just moved back to New Jersey. Louis was my Goomba growing up. And he should be mad at me. We went to see Apocalypse Now one night. When it first came out, we all did a head of acid. And me and my 2 friends were like, listen, tell Louis we can't hear nothing. And there was a siren going off. And Louis like, do you hear that siren? We're like, we don't hear nothing. We did that for about 10 minutes. He bent over. There was a puddle. And he started throwing rainwater in his face. And he ran away. Oh, yeah, we tormented him. So I get to court.
Rainwater.
I'll never forget this as long as I live, and I will call Timmy Holloway right now to back up my story.
Why was he in jail? Why was
Because
he in court?
the whole town heard about it.
Oh,
This is 1982. I think we're in war with Beirut. Are we at war with Beirut? Can you check for me?
Sure.
We're at war with somebody. And they go, okay, next up, who's on the agenda? And the court clerk says, Mr. Frederick Rupp. And the judge goes, oh, this is going to be an interesting morning. I mean, right off the bat,
He already
the
knows.
judge knew this guy.
Yeah.
Everybody knew him and shit. Freddie walks in there with shackles on and shit, you know, the orange jumpsuit. And they're like, Mr. Rupp, you're being charged, like, you know, aggravated. Because he didn't do nothing bad. It was like a misdemeanor, but he was on bail for something else at the time. And this is like a normal occurrence there. And he's like, yeah, you know, blah, 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 blah. And all of a sudden the judge goes, well, Mr. Rupp, what do you have to say? And he goes, listen, Your Honor, we can end this shit right now today. He goes, watch your language. You're in the court of law. Fuck that. Fuck that. There's a war going on in Beirut.
yeah, Lebanon, yeah.
He goes, there's a war going on in Beirut, and you have me sitting here with a jumpsuit on, Your Honor. How dare you? And everybody in the courtroom was like, what is he saying? He goes, let me out of here right now and put me on a plane to Beirut. I'll go over there. I'll kill so many motherfuckers. I'll make you proud of me.
I'll make you proud
Oh, my
of
God.
me.
And the judge is like, no, I swear, I love killing people. And he's looking at his attorney. I love killing people. I want to kill people. And the whole court's howling. Like, we're fucking just howling because it's Freddie Rupp. And the guy's like, listen, if he wants to join the army, let him go. Just take him downstairs, change him, and make sure you drop him off at the recruiter.
They said Freddie.
I think Freddie beat the cop up on the way to the recruiter. No more soldier. So when we bring my case up of me hitting the guy, everybody had to dumb me up. Like the ambulance guy didn't show. The hospital worker, the emergency room guy didn't show. The cop that was called from Union City to report the crime in North Bergen didn't show. So they were going to give us 24-hour reprieve. The kid's standing there all stitched up. You know, I'm like, I don't know what he's talking about. So then they were talking about a civil suit. And that disappeared also. I've never seen that kid again. Never heard him. I don't remember what his name was. Nothing. That was my fucking home month of July, 82. 3 weeks of going in and out of court to figure out whether I was guilty.
Oh, that's more exciting than most of our whole lives.
That is crazy shit.
I told this story on Rogan, but I have a cousin. He's my father's first cousin. He's a now paranoid schizophrenic. He was not, to begin with, he was a smart kid, did well in school, was great at sports, was really good at lacrosse. Hopkins was looking at him. He had some offers. Syracuse, I think. He was black belt in karate, second or third degree. But started fucking around with drugs young, and by his, I don't know, maybe 30s, he was gone. And I'm still very close with all his kids. They're my cousins, obviously, and I still talk to my cousin. Actually, the cousin I told you got carjacked the other day, this is one of his kids. So he is sometimes allowed into halfway houses, and then other times he has got to be in a mental home on medication. So once they get the medication right, he gets into his own little, it's a Baltimore City, I don't know, quad or whatever. He's got his own place, but there's several other ones in there, and it's dirty, and he's got an ashtray of just 100 cigarettes, and he'll smoke the butts, and he's got writing all on the walls, scripture. And I just was fascinated by my father. He was our say no to drugs, built-in say no to drugs in the fucking house. You know what I mean? Like, you can end up like that. I was always scared of drugs because none of us wanted to be that. And I would say to him, like, what are these poems and stuff on the wall? And he was like, at night, my doctors come in through my window. They drop liquid acid in my ear. And then they sample my skin. And then they leave. And then after they leave, the love of my life comes in, and I'm incapacitated. So this shit on the walls are the things that I want to tell her. And it's a paragraph here, a poem here, a this here, that here. And I used to go over his house, and we would always take a plate of food for Christmas. It would be his three kids, me and my two brothers. All six of us roll over, and then we give him a joint. We'd smoke with him a little bit, and this motherfucker would always, before we could drive back 1 mile to my Aunt Marguerite's house where her and my grandmother are, this motherfucker's already called and said, hey, thanks for the dinner. They came over, smoked me out, got me some. So we're walked back into that ambush. And we would always play it like, you gonna listen to this motherfucker's crazy? You gonna listen to him? But then we would call him up and be like, we're never fucking smoking you out again, you fucking piece of shit. And he would just be laughing his ass off. So I go over one day and I sit down with him. He watches television with the TV volume off and a radio on. And after a while, that shit synced up. And I said, man, this shit's starting to get real fucking weird here. When it made sense. When his world made sense to me, I got real uncomfortable, and I was like, I'm getting the fuck out of here. So I leave, and not too long after this, he goes and gets his hair cut up on the avenue. Eastern Avenue is like the Ventura Boulevard of Baltimore. He goes up, and this woman, now, and this is a guy that's not mentally stable. This woman's touching his head and cutting his hair. So in his mind, she must love me. She must love me. So he goes home and gets his guitar. Now, he's always selling. He sells his bed, his guitar, anything to get cigarettes, drugs, lottery tickets, whatever. Gets a check from the government, can't fucking work. It's a small check. Gets his guitar. And the crazy, beautiful thing about it is every time he has that motherfucking guitar, it's always out of tune. But it's always out of tune the same exact way. Every guitar he gets, he tunes it a certain way, and it's always out of tune, but it's the same. So he walks up to the shop. He stands out in front of the hair salon, and he sees the girl in there. And her name's Carissa. But people in Baltimore have a weird accent, and he says Chrissa. That's how he says it. So he stands out in front of the store in the glass window, and he says, Chrissa. And she looks out, so he starts playing his song. He's going, Chris, I love you. Chris, I need you. And then he starts hitting, Chris, don't cry because I want to die. Chris, don't cry because I want to die. And she's like, what the fuck? So she calls the police. They arrest him. They quickly, they know who he is. He's been arrested a ton of times. They know he's not well. They release him for his halfway house. But the court date's coming up. And at the time, I'm homeless. My grandmother's just died. I'm living with her sister, my Aunt Marguerite. She takes me in. And she's raising her grandkids, so all my cousins are there. And it's court date. And we're like, we gotta go fucking watch this. And we go to the wrong fucking courthouse, and we panic. So we go shoot across North Baltimore now. We make it just in time. He's in there with my aunt, his mom. And it's a female judge. And she hears what Carissa has to say first, and she gets it. She knows what's going on. But she's being super sweet to my cousin. And she's like, sir, what would you like to say? And he's like, I just don't understand what I did wrong. This lady was nice to me. I went home. I wrote her a song, and I came up to perform it, and she's like, I know what's going on here. She gets it. She's looking at the papers. So he's like, can I just sing a couple of the lines of the song? She's like, yeah, if you'd like to. And this motherfucker, we're all looking at each other. We're punching each other. You gotta be fucking kidding me right now. And he hits it with Chris, I love you. Chris, I need you. He's no guitar or anything. He's just going, Chris, don't cry because I want to die. Chris, don't cry. And the judge is like, okay, all right, okay. All right, I know what's going on here. So she's about to release him back to healthcare, halfway house or whatever. And she goes, oh, I'm sorry. There's an outstanding warrant for your arrest on your record here. And he just shoots back and looks at, his mom. And he's like, what is it? And she says Everett Cook. Now, that's my Uncle Ed. And he did not like Uncle Ed. So when he heard Everett Cook, he was like, oh, this motherfucker. What happened was he took a cab to their house one night all fucked up, and they wouldn't pay for it. So he took a brick and threw it through their, fucking storm door window and shattered it all over the place. They called the cops. They dropped the charges. They really did drop the charges, but it's a clerical error. It never got taken off the record. She's like, well, I'm sorry if that's the case, but for now, we have to take you under arrest. And now he's fucking going nuts. They're shackling him up. He's like, what the? And she's screaming back. He's like, fuck it. These motherfuckers. This motherfucking Ed. And my aunt stands up, and everybody in Baltimore calls everybody hun, okay? And my aunt stands up and says to this judge, hun, we dropped those charges. And that judge said, you will not call me hun. Dude, we were not. This whole thing's falling apart. She said, you will address me as your honor. She said, I'm sorry, your honor. We dropped those charges. She's like, well, we're going to have to get that cleared up. And in the meantime, he's going to be spending the night in jail. And then it took him out yelling all the way up and shut the door. And that was the end of his ass for a little bit.
When you say he did drugs and he got fucked, was there a mental health issue first and the drugs fueled it?
I believe there was nothing anybody really saw, but I think he was one of those people that, like Syd Barrett from Pink Floyd, did so much acid it unlocked it and turned him. So he's told me himself, I've done every drug you could think of. He was big on acid, and that's what fucking turned him. It shifted him to another person.
That was my drug of choice.
Acid?
For 2 or 3 years. Two years.
How often were you doing it?
Every day.
Hey? How many tabs?
My mother died. If my mother died November 79, I did acid. Probably. I started doing acid before she died. But afterward, it was the only way I could clear out my head. It felt like at night.
That's powerful to have to clear your head out like
this
that.
This is a different acid. This is, the acid that we have now. I've done it a few times, and it's good for 3 hours.
Yeah, you told me you used to have it over the door sill back in the whole place.
Yeah. We have it everywhere. Liquid, the thing. I still haven't gotten that acid, the 12-hour one. The 8 hours of intense inner, you're looking at things.
Shit's melting.
You have to be with people to really see what's going on. But then that gets to a point where you're by yourself, where you have that long talk with yourself and you look at you analyze your life and whatnot. I did a lot of that shit. That kept me from jumping off a bridge. So it's weird that any day now, there's always days I tell people I can't wait to walk into a restaurant one day, shit in my hand, throw it on the wall, because I'm expecting that from all the acid I did.
Well, you stopped. He never stopped. He continued to do it even when he got crazy. I mean, there were times where I would take him, so he would love to go to the hospital. That's one of the things he really liked to do. And he would tell me all the time that he's like, Ryan, he would tell me, see, this funny thing was when he was on his meds, you could tell he was there. And that's when he would start telling the family secrets. And they would be like, "Oh, shut! Don't listen to him." I'm, no, hold on. You just keep talking over here. You keep talking. You know, when he's not there, he's over here with the eyes, head tilted, drifting away. But when he's there, he'll tell you the secrets. So I was always good to him. You know, he's my dad's first cousin. My dad would bring him out to the house and always try to help him out. You know, he would come to he would take a cab to my grandmother's. He'd sit in a chair across from me like you. He would smoke cigarettes. He smokes a carton in 3 days. And he doesn't take them any farther than right here. He's hitting them like this. My Aunt Marguerite's dead of cancer. This motherfucker is smoking a carton in 3 days, and doesn't have throat cancer or anything. Still alive now. And I take him to the hospital one time, and he's screaming. He's telling me that the nurses come in and fuck him every now and then, and he's telling me he's got this STD. And I'm like, well, what do you have? What are you seeing that you think you got an STD? He's like, I got this scab right here on my stomach. And I was like, dude, that's not a fucking STD, man. It's a scab. I'm looking at it's a scab on your stomach. He's like, I'll take care of that. He goes in there and he starts screaming in the waiting room, and I'm just like, Jesus Christ. And he gets on, there's a gurney, he gets on it. He's demanding to be seen. And he goes back and he comes back out, and he's had that cigarette raspy laugh, and he would get laughing and it would start making me laugh. I'm like, what the fuck they say? He's like, told me it was a pimple. I go, well, how'd you get rid of it? He goes, what, my STD? I go, yeah. He goes, I picked the scab, I threw it away. I go, that's not how that shit works, dude. But that's what he believes.
And it's funny that the kids I did that acid with, I still communicate with a lot of that from that time period. That jump of
have any of them turned
70s to the 80s. One of them had issues a couple of years ago, but he had inheritance issues. He had an aunt that was already, he had an aunt that lived in the back closet. Like, you go over there and hear,
yeah.
Don't mind her.
Yeah.
So I grew up with him. Yeah, he just lived in the back.
I was just saying, why acting like it's normal? What do you mean?
Yeah,
because I know people that have that.
Her in the back.
They just got that relative over there, and they don't pay attention.
They bring her meals, she pull hairs out of her head, that type of shit.
Yeah. Oh my God.
I probably grew up around 3 families that had somebody in the house that lived there with. So if I narrow it down to 2 dear friends, I have 2 of them right now with a sister. One, the sister had mental health issues, and the other one, it's the aunt. The one that the aunt, this didn't end well. He's still alive, and he's still doing well, but there's been just a couple things, suicide attempts and stuff like that.
How does this affect you guys? I mean, Joey, you've talked about you dealing with homeless people, but around here, like when you see like the homeless people yelling and screaming.
Don't worry about the homeless people right now. There's 2 people we're dealing with. The guy that had the aunt, he's had a lot of problems. And the guy that had the sister was dear friends with me. And he snapped 15 years ago.
He did.
Not that he snapped, his personality went a different way. He released our hometown as his hometown, doesn't return calls, doesn't talk to people from our group. It's hurtful. Today was his older brother's birthday, and I reached out to the older brother, but I've asked the older brother, how's your brother doing? One of the few guys in this life that when I spoke to him, he said that he'd appreciate if I didn't call him back, that we had a good time growing up.
That's 2 people have said that to you.
Yeah, we were 2. This was back in 2002 when I was getting ready to shoot Analyze This.
Mm-hmm.
The last time I had seen him was like 93 at a Coke party. In fact, me and him jumped in the car 8 times. We were happy to see each other. But he had a gambling problem, and he blamed us for his gambling problem later on in life. So he cut us all off. So it was kind of weird. And I feel bad because I know when I talk to his brother that this guy has made it all through life. But those mental health issues have been lurking because he leaves his house he leaves work on Friday and he stays in his house till Sunday.
He doesn't come out.
No shopping, no restaurants, no movies, no malls, no nothing. It's so bad that his wife picks up and leaves and goes to her family's house.
It just gives him the place.
And just gives him the place. Because he just can't be around people and stuff like that. So it's always, I've always thought, like I've always been scared for myself. If I'm not feeling right or whatever, I always write. You know, if it's a couple days, then we have a problem. I still haven't broken down to see a psychiatrist. I don't hear words.
Ever?
No.
Really?
Yeah, I don't want to. I don't like the scabs I want to open is because I want to open them on my terms. Not because you want to open them. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I think that sometimes with psychiatrists, they make problems where there's not. We already have this problem here. Let's deal with this. But you want to open up this to deal with this. No. Now I'm really fucked up for 3 weeks. So it's like I've handled my own mental health. And I've handled it with a notebook.
And a microphone.
The notebook is more. The notebook has been more of mentally the mental health because I look back to where my frame of mind was in those previous years. I'll look back to, you know, I would love to, I think I'm going to do a whole podcast on excerpts of my writings the last 2 years.
Oh, yeah.
Before I was doing coke. You got to read some of these.
Before you started coke?
Stopped.
Oh, stopped. Oh, the last 2 years of your coke years.
I got those notebooks.
You do?
Oh, yeah. Hidden deep.
So it's not just jokes you were writing. You were writing. You're journaling. Oh, okay. That's different then. I see what you're saying.
So I'd get home. When I wake up in the morning, I journal my day, what my plans are, what I want.
That's really good and healthy.
You have to journal in the morning. That's what cleans out the mental diarrhea that you got in your mind all night. That's when you're smoking. You got your YouTube music on. The windows are open. Get the sun in. Get the air in. Yeah. That's that whole process. I do the morning journal. Then I do the 8 o'clock journal. The day turned out how I wanted to. I'm headed down to the store. I feel sorry for the motherfucker who's got to follow me tonight because I'm ready to get my dick sucked tonight. You know, I prepare myself, and then when I get home, I have the wrap-up journal. The store was great tonight. I ate a bag of dicks. I did so bad, I'm going to take a week off. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah. So you're always in touch with yourself mentally and where you are.
Jay Larson gave me this book, and I can't remember it now, but it's the same thing. It's you what you're going to do for the day, come home, what you did, and at night,
that's it.
What you could have done better, not what you did wrong.
That's it.
How you could have improved.
And next time I'll do this.
Boom.
This motherfucker, he's never getting a call from me again.
Right.
I'd called him twice. He never called, and I could suck my fucking dick. But the end of the day is always, I try for it to be, I want it to be ultra positive because I want to go to bed ultra positive so I can wake up ultra positive. If not, if I write about Ryan Sickler doing a racist joke that was very offensive, then I'm going to wake up at 2 and be mad at Ryan.
Thinking about that bullshit.
Try to write it out now. Get that writing. And it's writing. It's the muscle that needs to be written every day. This is how you start. Genius yesterday said, I want to learn how to write a script. Write the script of your life first, then come see me. That's the hardest script you're going to write. So start from the beginning. I was born in Boston Hospital in 1952 on a hot summer night to Bill Syatt and Tina McGurkin. That's it. That's how it starts. That's what you write. That's the first homework assignment I ever got from Doug Stanhope. That's all you need. That's your first script.
The story of your life.
If you can't write the story of your life, it's not going to work out for you. And I did it. And I just don't know where that notebook is. It was horrible. Spelling was wrong, wrong pronunciation, commas everywhere, 22 theirs. But I did the assignment. It took me a year to write, and I threw the notebook away when I finished with it, just because I didn't know better. But I feel that the paper and pen are the strongest fucking psychiatrists there is. If you're honest enough to write what's really cooking with you.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. That's good and healthy for you.
Sorry for you to straighten out. What do you think about the homeless situation? You know, we all know the homeless situation. They're fucking retarded. That, you know, if they did a survey and went around with little dip kits and shit And you could tell 70% of these people whacked up that live under the bridges. They're not people who could get an apartment tomorrow. They're not 2 weeks from getting a fucking apartment. It doesn't take you. There's a guy up the corner that's building a 3-ring circus on the 170. He's got an exercise bicycle over there. The guy's a savage. He's got an exercise bicycle.
Got a spotlight out.
Who the
there,
fuck
shit.
walks around the neighborhood, sees an exercise bicycle, and says, I need that on my corner.
Yeah.
I need that on my corner. You know what I'm saying? But I went to Philadelphia, Atlantic City last weekend, and guess what? I took Matt Fultron to the train station in Atlantic City, and I dropped him off at 5 in the morning, and there was not one homeless motherfucker.
Really?
They had 4 police guys standing there.
They
Guards.
chase him out of there?
They chase. That's the East Coast. They don't
Yeah.
feel bad for homeless people. They kick you. They kick you. Did I ever tell you I mugged the guy on the number 1 bus? A friend of mine reminded me this week.
How old were you?
We had to be about 13.
13. How old's the guy?
He had to be about 34. He got on the bus and he fell asleep from being drunk.
Is this nighttime?
Yeah, it was like 7 o'clock at night. And he was all fucked up. So like one of my buddies sat next to him, put his arm around him and shit. And then he's like, he's coming with us. Let's take him. And we just carried him out like
You took him out
Weekend at Bill's.
of Bernie.
And Bernie's, and even the bus driver was like, where are you taking him? In Spanish.
Taking him out.
He's a friend of mine. He lives down the corner. As soon as the bus took off, we just dropped him, kicked him, and took his wallet. He has like $4 in the fucking get well card from some mental health center. You know what I'm saying? Oh my God. Then you wonder why they put me in jail.
Okay, well done. So back to this. All right, you're going to fucking, what's it called again?
Diagnostic.
I
I'm
wanna
going
keep-
through diagnostic. It's a 2-week process. They draw blood. They do the whole thing.
When you finally get assigned to the penitentiary you're going to, day 1 there, okay?
I wanted to go to Rifle.
Okay.
Because
Yeah, you
Rifle
said
was
there were
very
3
good.
options.
There was 3 options.
Rifle.
At that time, there was Rifle, Camp George West by Golden, where they make cores.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and then there was another one at the time on the other side of the slope. That was where you worked at farms and pigeons, and I was not going to that one. It was a bunker type. You slept underneath. I heard it was really cold year-round.
Yeah,
So
Denver.
my attorney, we wrote some type of letter about allergies and whatever, just to narrow it down out of that one. It was between Camp George West and Rifle, and I wanted to go to Rifle because they had a swimming program. And
In the
summer,
prison?
In the prison, they had a swimming program. It was minimum security, so they had a swimming program. Plus, in the summer, you were a lifeguard at the local pool.
They would send you out there to be, you were a lifeguard at the local pool?
No. And then in the wintertime, you could be a theater guy at the movie theater. They had a big movie
So it's a work
theater.
release? They're
It
doing
was a
work
release.
release?
Just it was trying to get you back in. It wasn't work release, but this prison, if you did exceptional, they got you whatever you call them at a movie theater. They make popcorn
Ushers.
for you and usher.
Yeah.
You could work as an usher
Concession.
in a movie theater, and that was fucking great. For me.
Hell yeah.
But it was also a 5-hour drive from Denver.
You had to go
For
one
my
way?
girlfriend. So my girlfriend would have to go
Oh.
5 and then 5.
That's
So
San
I was
Francisco
already
from
set
here.
on Rifle. I had written
Yeah.
letters to the fucking guy from Rifle saying I really want to go there. I would be a great addition to the movie
great addition.
department and all this shit. And that morning when I woke up and they said Camp George West, it's like me telling you we're going to send you to prison, but you're going to go to Burbank. And you're like, should I be happy about that?
Right, yeah.
I had my heart set on San Diego, you know. So they put me in Camp George West, which was in Golden, which was 20 minutes from Burbank at the time with no traffic. Boulder, 30 minutes from Boulder, something like that with no traffic at the time. Very enjoyable.
So, really?
Yeah.
So I grew up in Maryland, where I grew up in the county. There's a mental institution called Springfield, and it's laid out like a college campus. And at the end of this campus here, there was a minimum security prison. We called it the laundry camp because that's what they all told us they did there. They did laundry for like the state, all the clothes and all that.
Yeah.
Wear any of that. So did you deal with any of that kind of shit there?
No.
But you know what I'm talking
You either
about.
did laundry, you worked in the kitchen. The possibilities of my camp were great because you either did laundry, worked in the kitchen, did the crew. You ever see those guys with sticks on Route 5 picking up garbage?
Oh, yeah.
You do that, or you got to be the guy that drove
The van.
and they put the garbage on the van.
Okay.
Okay, so
You probably got to be well behaved to do the
very
driving
well
the
behaved,
van.
or be able to have a driver's license. How many think those mutts have driver's
Good
licenses?
point.
So those minimum correction camps are a lot of the last stop before you get to a halfway house camp. Those guys have done 20 years. They don't have a fucking driver's license.
But they're almost on their way back out
Back
to society.
out. They have to do 2 or 3 years of minimum.
Halfway,
no fucking
and then
mistakes.
Right.
Then they go up in front of a parole board. And if the parole board either paroles them out or they get paroled to a halfway house.
Okay.
So with
Which was right around the corner from our middle school.
Right,
Motherfucking
which is right-
halfway house.
right
It's all together.
all together.
Yeah.
So when I went in there, when I got there, they're like, get your bags and go see a counselor, and you see the counselor. And then he'll tell you what options you have. You have a few days to fill applications out. Not applications, like sign your name. And before I could walk out, some big fucking black dude, 6'6", he's like, excuse me, Mr. Diaz, have you ever had hepatitis B? I'm like, do I look like I had hepatitis B or whatever? He asked me about sun disease, and I go, no. He goes, good. I'll see you at 5 a.m. He was a baker.
Oh, okay.
So he took me in the kitchen to make me a baker. I almost blew up the kitchen with the cinnamon rolls. I didn't know how to bake.
You got a swim program, motherfucking cinnamon rolls.
No, but there was no swim program at this
that
is
one.
Rifle.
Okay, gotcha.
I went to Camp George West. The lieu of Camp George West was that you got to leave once a day, every day for 20 minutes.
Off campus.
Or to go to the bodega, 0.6 miles from the thing. So it was basically a 5-minute walk. So that would give you 15 minutes in that bodega to buy a notebook, ice cream, cheese, whatever. If Lee was punished, Lee would give me money, which I took $1 off the top
Of course.
for taking the walk. You follow me?
Yeah.
So every day you signed up. A lot of people didn't have that privilege. I had that. It took me a week to get that privilege. Once I almost blew up the kitchen, they made me the stock clerk, which was the easiest job there. I was a stock clerk / dishwasher. So yeah, I would stock in the morning, dishes, do 3 sets of dishes for the dinners, then I'd be done. But the guy with the license got caught doing heroin. So he lost his job. They went into the database. I had a license. I got demoted as a dishwasher, so I became the stock clerk. And then I would go out and pick up the garbage.
You drive?
I would,
yeah.
I wouldn't pick up the garbage. I'm lying to you. They made me bring the lunch sandwiches to the site.
But you go pick them up. So you actually got out a little
Yes, but these guys were geniuses. They would never tell you where you were going to go work to the day before. There was no cell phones in those days. So I created a system that when I went to bring them lunch, they would slip me a phone number. Cost you a couple dollars. And I would go back, call that number, and tell her where Ryan Sickler was. And then they would go over there, and one of Ryan's cousins would throw a balloon filled with heroin out of the car. And I'd get a little taste of it, you know what I'm saying? Because that's what I do.
Yeah.
So
Are they piss testing at all back then?
If they had a suspicion back then, they could
other
piss
than
test
that,
you,
no.
but they couldn't find acid, speed, and something else.
Okay.
So the big flavors of the house
weed and coke
were
or
speed
no? Yeah.
and meth, speed, and acid.
Okay.
Meth type speed and acid were the only things they couldn't read. They had to tap into your spine to do the acid. And they weren't going to spend $20 to see me to the acid.
Yeah.
$2,000. So the drugs of choice in there were blood acid and speed for the guys I ran with. There was a whole different culture in there that was doing heroin full time in there. It's crazy to see that. That's a really crazy culture.
Yeah.
So I would go back. There was a certain guy that would give me $5. I'd call him and tell Lucy, meet him on the exit of this and this. And when they would get back, they would eat dinner, and then they would disappear, and then you'd see them an hour later. It'd be like fucking Walking Dead. They would get high enough so nobody would know. And they would sell the cotton balls, because you put your syringe in the cotton ball to draw. Those cotton balls still have heroin in them. They would sell the cotton. I mean, it was such a weird culture to witness when I was in there. Like, what they did to get high. Like, even behind bars, like, even being in jail didn't really teach you.
Right.
When I got locked up, I knew that I had to give coke a break anyway. So I stepped away from the coke, stepped away from the weed as much as I wanted to. Weed was my fucking life. But I knew they would test me and find me. The only thing they wouldn't get me for was the acid, which I ended up popping a few times. And then on Monday, there was this name, John Clark. It's so weird how the movies show you all these prison gangs, but
that's what I'm sitting here thinking, because you talked about swimming at one and driving the van at one. When I went to the one where I grew up, my buddy would play in this softball league, and the prisoners had a team. It was always a home game though. They never allowed to travel, and it was a laundry camp, so they were called themselves the Dirty Socks, right? And my buddy's like, you gotta come and watch one of these, Ryan. I'm telling you, it'll be a fence right here where all the families and kids will sit on the hit, and then it's all the prisoners over here. So I go watch one day. It's the best fucking thing I've ever seen in my life. I'm sitting on a grass hill, and there's a guy up in the booth. He's got a little Casio keyboard. I don't see him till the end of the whole thing, but he's the announcer. He's the keyboard guy, and so they would get up to bat. The prisoners, and he'd be like, all right, y'all, now batting number 2, Jeffrey Rosen. Y'all know him as Oreo. And the bleachers would go, oh, they go crazy. And then he would pop out, and they'd be like, fuck you, Oreo. They would turn on him like a motherfucker. They had so many fun. And then he had these little songs he would play. And one was always a beat off. He'd go, D to the I to the R to the D to the Y. Dirty Socks is in the house. Come on, y'all. And all the prisoners would be like, Dirty Socks is in the house. Dude, they had cheers. They had everything going on. And then if they made an out, he'd play his little, remember the Casio keyboard where you could sample sound? Yes. That's what he had up there. And he would do, shoot him down, Dirty Socks. He would do that one all the time. He had all kinds of little sayings up there all the time. And when he got done, I'll never forget. I waited. I wanted to see who this dude was. This dude was a tiny little skinny black dude. Had that long ass keyboard tucked under his arm. And remember those skull caps, but they had the Panama Jack flaps down the back? Remember that shit?
All the black guys had them. When I did time, all of them had those.
That's what he wore. And he walked back up the hill to the prison. Like, that was his job. That was what he got to do, and he enjoyed the shit out of it. I'm telling you, man. I know they were prisoners and shit, but god damn, my buddy hit a home run. They're all talking shit to him, and then they would go. He would go when any charge. It was always off key. He would do that, and then he'd go, "Where's cell block B at?" And then the guys from that would go, "Oh, little sections, dude." It was the best. I was like, "Is this fucking real, man? We got to put this in a goddamn movie. This is the best shit I've ever seen." Did you have that softball or any of that shit there?
We did everything. We had a softball league, like dorms in between, and we'd play the fucking the guards.
It's so funny what real prisons.
We had a basketball league on Monday nights that a bunch of us would do speed and go play basketball, like a line of speed, and go play basketball. But
would they allow the area rec teams to come in?
No, they wouldn't. Nothing like that. No, we were really secluded there. But I hold that whole 12 month experience so close.
Okay, so that's what I was going to ask you. So you got about a year in out of, they were going to give you 4?
4, but what happened was Colorado had just instituted a law called House Bill 1200, which meant if you were nonviolent and it was your first offense, your sentence would get cut in half. So I had a 48-month sentence. So automatically my sentence got cut to 24 months.
And you were getting back double days for one back then, right?
Now, hold on. I had 30 days at 2 days apiece. So that put me down to 22 days. and you're eligible for a halfway house at 18 months.
So you got 4 months.
And there was something else that they took a month off for. So basically, when I had sentenced, I had 20 months, and in 2 months, they were going to put me, my paperwork would be done for a halfway house. Now, if I stayed in county for 6 months, I would still have to go through diagnostic. And then they would have transferred me to a halfway house. Because after they put the letter in, it takes 6 weeks to 8 weeks to get transferred. And you have to, remember, you get an option to mark down 2 boxes. They could send you anywhere.
Right.
They could send you to fucking Santa Ana. And you're like, but my mother lives in North Hollywood. There's one in Van Nuys. Fuck you and your mother. We send you where you want.
Yeah, right.
So your attorney really has to start getting into the process.
Now, I asked George Perez this question. I'm going to ask you this question.
Let me get water.
Can I get one of those too, please?
I like smoking my marijuana before you ask me this question, not to make you lose sight of this. I love smoking my marijuana. I love doing my edibles. But if I had a fucking Vicodin today, I would pop 2 of them. That's how much pain I'm in right now. I lifted on Monday, and I went to boxing class yesterday, 12 stations times 3. But what happened last night was I ate a bunch of edibles at the store during those fucking games, those shows last night.
Yeah,
I had these fucking sugar nut things, and some guy gave me, I ate a capsule. So when you eat that, it dehydrates it while you sleep. So I woke up today super fucking sore. Like I said, I had to have 2 cups of coffee, 1 regular and 1 fucking espresso. But seriously, right now when I went to get up, I'm like, oh my God, I am so fucking physically sore. So sorry to interrupt you.
No.
What's the question?
Is there any part of you that misses it in any way? I know you're a family man. You've got children. I know you're married. But is there any part, like what George's answer was, yes, he missed the structure. He missed knowing that any day I can go to the library. I can go here. I can go here. Where when you're out and you're not used to that, you have to motivate yourself to go to that library. You got to motivate yourself to go here. And he enjoyed, like I said, the structure and the scheduling and time. You know, I'm lunch here. I'm this here. I'm this here. Is there any part of you that misses anything of it?
I do miss the structure.
You do.
But in my life, I'm a structured guy. If you go to my
Were
house,
you before prison?
even with the cocaine problem, I could look in there and tell you I was very structured. I knew if I made up my mind to rob your house next Thursday, it was going to get robbed next Thursday.
Man of his word.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I knew if I had to go case a joint on a Tuesday at 12 and it was going to be a long walk, I still went there and cased a joint.
Is that all that stuff in any of your journals?
No, I didn't write back then.
No.
This time I was a
Just the
fucking
last
nomad.
2 years.
No, I've been doing the journal for...
I'm talking about those cocaine years, the last 2 cocaine years. You said you got those books.
I have the journals from 95
Do you?
to 2019 right now.
Oh, holy
I
shit.
think I missed, there's only 2 years that are missing, 2006 and 7, because they got taken in a car that I owned that got towed. But pretty much I have to look them over again. And there's nights that you could see the coke. It's like by the mid-page, you could see the writing going downhill like the coke.
Yeah.
And me repeating myself, me talking about shit that I would talk to somebody else about the coke. Back to your question. I'm sorry.
Structured. You're structured.
I'll tell you what I miss. I miss the friendships I made. Believe it or not, birds of a feather flock together. There's 2 or 3 people from 1988, 89 that I truly do miss today, that I wish they were a part of my circle. Torrey Powell's was a Crip, a straight-up Crip, rolling Crips from over here. shot, killed, but had 7 bitches. And had them all in a fucking brand new 6-figure car. Guy wasn't bullshitting. I miss Antoine Spencer Antoine. He's probably dead. He was my age when I met him. And this is 30 years ago. And I'd like to reconnect with a guy named John Clark, who was he was a spick nigger, Jew hater, with all the fucking, he hated everybody. Spicks, niggers, Jews, kikes. He hated everybody, but he had genuine love for me as a spick. And we would hang out at night together and talk about ideology and why he thought that way. And it was just me and him in a room, and then every Monday he would get a visitation, and his girlfriend would put a bubble in her mouth, a balloon with speed in it. And then him and I would do a few lines on Monday, and we'd go.
So would she kiss him? How would she pass that?
She'd just make out.
And then slide it right in.
Put the balloon under his mouth. Some people swallow the balloon and wait 2 days to shit it out. This was minimum security. He would put it under his tongue, and on the way out, they would pat him down. And I genuinely miss that guy because he said something really interesting to me. Well, one night we were all outside, and it was him and a black guy. And they said that this black guy was a badass motherfucker. Not Spencer Antoine. He was just, I forget what his name was. Me and the librarian were about to do a head of acid, and John Clark was with us. And I said, John, you got any speed? Because if we do the speed, we'll get the acid cooking quicker. You know what I'm saying? If you do a head of acid and do a line of speed before, it goes right into the acid. We're going to be up all fucking night. We're going to get fucked up. And John goes, give me a few minutes. Let me walk around and ask a few people. And the black guy looked at me. He was super cool. And he goes, think about it. If you guys put as much effort into doing something positive, instead of this shit, what you motherfuckers could come up with. And that line resonated in my head. How much thought in those days I put towards finding a drug dealer. How much, I used to, 3 hours a day is how am I going to get $40?
Right.
What pigeon is going to give me $40 today? Oh, fuck, Lee left a watch over at the fucking podcast office. That's gone. Next time I see Lee, he's like, I think I lost my watch. I don't know what happened. Man, I haven't seen it. That shit's crushed up, snorted. In fact, I shit it and gave Kate Quigley half the coke. You know what I'm saying? So we had a good time snorting your fucking watch. It doesn't surprise me that great things happened to me comically when I got off the cocaine because it freed up my mind of 3 hours a day. It's like being involved in a bad relationship. Mm-hmm. You walk around focusing on that bad relationship so it doesn't let other energies that you have go and grow. It stunts you. That's why the first time you smell something weird, you gotta go. Because this affects all your levels of creativity and stuff. When that guy said that to me, I knew he was onto something. I was like, fuck, this motherfucker's onto something. But I missed all that stuff.
But didn't you tweet something about, are you going to let a crackhead out hustle you? Was that you? I just saw one recently. I was like, that's a great point. This crackhead's out there today.
Out hustling people.
Is going to have, he needs his drugs. He ain't going to be like, I'm not doing crack today.
They're going to hustle his ass off. You give me a guy that doesn't have a zero in the bank, and you give me a guy that's got money, and tell this guy that, look, you sell 3 fucking things. I want you to sell 3 bottles of water for me on the phone. We'll give you $100 cash at the end of the day. Give him $5. Hunger does a lot of things.
Fuck yeah.
Hunger really motivates. Need
addiction,
motivates.
yes, need.
Need motivates. I had needs. I had addictions.
Which are needs.
And when I was in 95, let's go back to 95 when I really wanted to strive in comedy. I had already accepted the drug habit. And I had to pay $635 a month child support, and the rest went up my nose. $400 was rent, and the rest went up my nose. The car I had didn't have a chance of getting insurance. Insurance didn't exist in my world. We're lucky we got a car.
Yeah.
Insurance is for suckers. I didn't do none of those secondary market things, nothing. It's so weird how the transfer of addiction is correct and real. I took the transfer of that addiction to coke, and I really turned it into the comedy addiction.
Yeah.
Like I was always an addict to comedy. To do what we do, you have to be an addict to it. If you're not going to be an addict to this,
comedy.
quit, jump off a building.
Yeah.
When you wake up in the morning, if you're pissing and you're not asking yourself where you're getting on stage, this is not for you.
Yeah.
If you're pissing and going, I can't wait to do 3 spots tonight. And you're not even worried about money because there's no money.
That's right.
There's no money. I love when people come up to me and go, how's the money? In the beginning, you're like, there
What
ain't no
money?
money. Oh, watch, I'm going to do it and make money.
Okay.
They pick up 2 gigs for 200 and they go down to Pizza Little. Because, no, I could hustle this guy for 5,000. You probably could one time. But you'll never get another gig again because you're not worth the fucking aggravation.
Right. You'll get one. You ain't coming back.
So it was really weird how I think the transfer of, what addiction I gave up to become a comic was? Action junkie.
What do you mean?
I was an action junkie.
You were in like adrenaline shit?
I like being the ape. I like being the underdog.
Okay.
I like Bill Burr and
Yeah.
Al Madrigal looking for me. Like I was that type of motherfucker. Like I dare those 2 guys walk up my steps. Like I loved Brendan Schaub looking for me. Like I was that type of guy. Like that's the stuff that motivated me. Oh, Brendan's looking for me? Oh, he's bringing Rogan? Now I'll know. Because one of them is going to fly off that fucking balcony. Before they even open up the door, I'm going to tackle that guy. I remember being, it was 1991 or 2. I had just gotten out of prison. I had been married and divorced. And I had a beef with a white guy. Sweetheart of a white guy. There's not a day that his name is Ryan Cahoon.
I can't hear.
Sweetheart of a guy in Boulder, Colorado. I knew him. I knew his girlfriend. And in August, in the old days, there'd be a weed shortage in Colorado. Believe it or not. It was the harvest. So from the end of July to the 3rd week of August, there was nothing. Nothing. And I hadn't had pot in 3 fucking days. And I gave him like $800 to go to Montana to get weed from his brother. He made some story up how he was going to get weed from his brother. Now, this is me, you and me, Ryan. You come to me like a man. I'll give you whatever you want and go, Joey, I get you a half a pound. Split it with me. Just give me 800. Well, you told me you're coming back Sunday. You told me Sunday at lunch you're going to be back. But he's a white dude. He went fishing with his father. They had to go eat cheddar cheese and drink lemonade and do the national anthem. He didn't come back till Wednesday. There was no cell phones in that day. I called his wife. I got his father's number on Tuesday. I go, yo, where's my 800 and the weed? He goes, what are you talking about? I told you, Joey. I go, don't come back because I'm going to kill you. And he's like, how are you talking to me like that? I'm shooting to your house right now. And I'll never forget me being separated, causing all types of havoc. I was already in comedy. Like 6 or 7 months, I still had the condo, and I was cooking something in the kitchen, and I saw him coming up my stairs, and he goes, and I go, and I had a stack of knives behind me, and I took the biggest kitchen knife, and I walked towards the door, and he didn't even run down the stairs. He jumped
all the way down.
and he kept calling me, why are you doing this to me? I go, you motherfucker, you don't ever talk to me that way until, you're supposed to be here Sunday. I don't even know why I'm telling you the story, but that was the type of person I was. Like, I was that person. That's why I don't like having weapons around me. I loved people looking for me. I loved it.
Yeah. You said you were an action junkie.
I loved Ryan Sickler finding out that I robbed him. Let's see what Ryan
you got off on. Okay.
Yeah.
Now what are you going to do?
Because guess who I'm sitting over here with? I got Mike Ronnie over here, and I got 3 other guys that 2 of their parents are connected, and the other guy's connected politically. So what do you want to do? Take the loss. Next time, plan ahead. Don't go eat dinner with your stupid girlfriend at 8 o'clock when you got 2 ounces of coke in your house. Who does that?
Yeah,
who does that on a Friday night? Friday nights are not for girlfriends. They're to sell cocaine. You wanted to go eat dinner. I had one of my waiters saw you over there, and I went and kicked in your back door. Because I had waiters everywhere. I had waiters, bartenders. So I would call a bar and go, who's down there? Oh, Sickler's down there. Really? Oh, my God. Tell him to wait for me. I'm on his way. On the way, I'd rob your house. And when I get there, the money that I rob from your house, I'd buy
drinks.
Coke from you. No,
Oh.
I'd buy Coke from you. So when you came to me the next day and said, somebody robbed my house last night, what are you talking about? I was with you all night last night. Didn't I buy you drinks? Yeah, but you're the only thief in the neighborhood. Dog, I was with you. So for 8 years, I had you scratching your head. Then every once in a while, I send them a message on Facebook. Like I just sent one to a buddy of mine about 6 months ago, a guy I robbed for a half ounce. He was a scumbag. He was buying hot Sony Trinitrons from us. He would give us a gram of Coke. Then one night during Ozzy Osbourne, he thought it was cute. He's like, tonight I'm only giving you half. Really? Okay. I gave him like 6 months, went over his house, went to do blow. We went to buy it. I told him I had to do something, take a piss. I left the bathroom window open. I went back, got the Coke. As I was leaving, my brother was coming in. Guy that I lived with, in fact. We hugged. I said, I'll see you later. We left. That idiot went to New York to some club. Me and my buddy waited for him to leave. I crawled in the house, stole his half ounce of Coke and his money. We partied all weekend long. Guess this. Ready for this? Me and my brother, the guy I bumped into in that apartment, are lifting weights Monday with Stinky. And I haven't told Mike that I robbed this Mikey guy. And they're knocking on the door. And Mike's like, what the fuck are they knocking on my door? I don't know. Answer it. And I'll never forget us lifting weights and the guy yelling at my brother for robbing him.
Oh, he thought he did.
He thought he did. And
Yeah.
me and Stinky in the back howling. And then he comes back to, what the fuck's wrong with Mike Mullica? He fucking thinks I robbed him. What the fuck is up with that? I wouldn't rob him. I told him I was. And then he looked at me, he goes, you robbed him, you motherfucker. I knew it was you. He goes, I always take the blame because of you. The only thing I don't miss about prison is what prison is intended to do. And it's intended to break your manhood away from you. There's no worse feeling. There's two of the worst feelings I've ever had in my life. Was picking up your child and he has another man's cologne on when you get separated. Okay. There's no worse feeling than that. There's getting kicked in the balls. There's finding your wife getting fucked in the ass by a midget. When you come home for Christmas with presents and there's a little midget with a big head fucking your wife, that just PTSDs you. You just walk out of there like fucking.
Yeah, you're done.
You just go to Midgetville and run over 10 midgets. Like you just, there's certain things in life, finding your mother on the floor dead, finding your father on the floor dead, finding a sibling commit suicide. These are things that your heart and your mind never get over, and there's always going to be what do the Hindus call it? Chakras.
Chakras.
The chakras won't connect right, so you have an imbalance, A man waking you up, that's not your father. I don't know if anybody that listens to this or either of you grew up with a father that, sorry, Lee, get up. That's not a nice feeling. And I know a lot of kids that their fathers woke them up by, get up. Get up. It's 8 o'clock and they turn the light on. Where I come from, you turn my fucking light on and kick the bed, you're going to die. Like, you're going to die. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's not, I wouldn't do that to anybody. And Lee, we got to go. We got a room, we got to whatever. But for me to go into Lee's room, turn the light on and kick his fucking bed and go, get up, you sack piece of shit. That does something to your psyche. That goes forever. So nobody's waking you up with a good morning. They're waking you up with a negative connotation.
Right away, start your day.
If I do that enough for 6 years, that's what you're used to getting waken up to. So that's why when you get let out into the world, you can't handle it. Everybody's against you because for 6 years I've been kicking your bed and turning a light on and hitting your bed with a police stick. And when Lee makes a joke like, come on, man, 10 more minutes, get the fuck up, you fat sack of shit, and they hit your legs with a stick. How do you wake up? There's no good mood. There's no good mood.
Yeah.
You walk in ready to kill somebody. I did not like that about prison. I understood right away that was the main goal of prison. To break your manhood down so you never ever could succeed again. You could never succeed again. If you don't see what that, and I'll tell you, the first 3 weeks I couldn't deal with it. I was already planning on taking that stick and shoving it up his fucking ass.
And just taking the beating.
No, doing time for the rest of my life.
Yeah.
But every place I go to, those guards are going to go not to kick my bed. because I'll take another fucking eye. Look at the anger it gives you. I'm not an angry guy like that, but just the thought of that time where men could come in and go, lights out and turn your TV off. You know, Big Poppy's coming to bat. The bases are loaded. You bet Sickler a carton of fucking cigarettes. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden some fucking guy comes in and he goes, hey, you sacks of shit, bedtime. And you're like, come on, one more time. Say another fucking word and I won't turn this motherfucker on tomorrow, you white motherfucker. You and none of your other white motherfuckers want to say nothing? Get to bed. And you got to see how the black prisoners, the black guards treat the black prisoners. Shut the fuck you up, you little nigger motherfucker. Who the fuck was feeding you when you were living under that bridge with your nigger nappy-headed parents? I mean,
damn.
So it's a system.
Yeah.
That's what I don't miss.
It's not
That's
meant
what
to
I do.
rehabilitate.
It's not
meant to
meant,
break
there's no rehabilitation.
Yeah.
It's meant to break you. So you have that. You know, I remember moving to Colorado and going home and going, I'm leaving. And my buddy's going, where you going? And I'm like, I'm living around with faggots. I'm surrounded by faggots. Everybody says good morning. And they all started laughing. That's because you're out of that hellhole,
Right,
New Jersey.
yeah.
You're in a city where fucking people are nice.
Right.
And they say good morning to you. How's your day? How's your day? Go fuck yourself. How's my day? Mind your business. You fucking skank ass bitch. It's really weird, the little things that you pick up in life, especially now that I'm old and I see why those things happened, why certain things didn't happen. You know, it's pretty interesting.
How it comes back into play.
How it comes back into
How it
play.
affects you down the line.
But I replaced the action junk, the addiction, with the comedy action. You know? The whole, from the cocaine addiction, moved on to a marijuana addiction, which I've always had. And ain't nobody dying, as far as I know, from marijuana these days. So I try to take those addictions and move them down. The nicotine addiction, I shoot a nicotine gun. You know, it's a transfer of addiction. If you need to transfer addiction, this is how to do it. I don't want you to stop. I'd rather Ryan Sickler be happy. I'd rather Ryan Sickler say, you know what? 7 days a week, I'm going to chew nicotine gum, and on Sundays, I'm going to smoke a cigar. I want you to be happy. I don't smoke reefer because I get blasted anymore. I did 8 bong hits on the way here. I look any different to you guys?
No.
No.
Yeah, I don't get high. It relaxes
And then
me.
we
It
rolled
makes
a
me
joint.
focus.
We smoked.
Yeah.
You brought us some joints. It lets me hold on to my past. It's my teddy bear from back before I became a decent person. It lets me know I'm still a dirty fuck, but not dirty enough. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So that's it still lets me know, you know. I stopped shoplifting. I would always shoplift once a year just to make sure I still had my skills.
Did you really?
Oh, right next
When's
to
the last time you shoplifted? How old?
How old?
Yeah, how old?
56. I gotta get them one time. Those
What'd you get last?
7-Eleven. You gotta rob those little fucking ISIS-controlled stores. If you're not clipping a 7-Eleven,
What are you taking?
sometimes I take a protein bar. Like I'll buy 2, but steal one in my.
That's the fucking move.
I put it in my. I put it like a magician in here,
That's
right
the
in front of
fucking
him
move.
at the counter.
Back in the day, remember when cigarettes weren't behind the counter?
Oh yeah.
And my buddy had them. That was his move. He'd walk in, he'd grab 2 packs of Marlboro Lights. Well, from a distance, you can't see how many he took. He just knows he took a pack. And then he would walk around the store. He'd get a big gulp. He'd go, you know what? I ain't getting these cigarettes. And he'd put 1 pack back.
And take one.
Buy the big gulp. Boom. Out of there with a pack of cigarettes. And it worked every
time.
fucking
Every
time
time.
until they moved him behind there.
There's
Every
a
time.
psychology. There really is a psychology to shoplifting. And it was crazy us talking about some of this. There was a time when Bic Lighter released football lighters. This had to be 2000. Mm-hmm. Every fucking team had a lighter.
Yep.
And I was fucking hell-bent for leather that I was going to get every team. I will call my wife right now. There was
Every team you were going to steal 32 motherfucking lighters?
So I would go into the 7-Eleven on Curson and Sunset, across from the old bar there and the old where you bought all the books, Samuel French.
Yep, same in French.
And I would
That's
go
right.
in there, buy a soda. They used to have a company that used to make bagels with cream cheese, a tomato, and turkey. Fucking
That
delicious.
sounds delicious.
And I would get the swirl bread. I loved They have a brand of black and white bread.
The challah. That it?
It's like a cake, I think. Right?
Yeah, it's like
okay.
pound cake.
Okay.
Pound cake. You never just see the problem is people shoplift and they shoplift. You have to buy. The more I buy, the more I shoplift. if I buy,
It's a rewards program.
if I buy $20, yeah, I got a better awards program than anybody is ever gonna ever offer me. You know what I'm saying?
If you buy 20, how much
I'm
you
stealing
stealing?
20.
20.
But I remember going in there.
You're 1 for 1. You're going 1 for 1.
I go 1 for 1. So it was funny. The guy would watch me. I knew he was watching me, and I do the same thing. I take 2 packs of. I love cinnamon certs.
Cinnamon certs?
I'll just eat the whole box until I got on a plane one day with an edible, and I hate the whole pack. And I didn't know that when you're doing edibles, the cinnamon reverse and makes your whole body feel like you took. There's a pill that you take, magnesium. And when you take it, it opens your pores and your skin starts to burn.
So cinnamon makes you sweat from that?
Cinnamon
if you
makes
take
you-
it with an
If you
edible?
eat an entire package of certs,
Like 2 or 3 of them, you know what I'm saying? So I would go into that 7-Eleven store, and while he was ringing me, I'd be taking lighters, Cowboys, Chargers, Rams.
You got the Ravens in there.
the Ravens, and I would take them home, and I had a hat, and I put them in the hat, and I had a drawer. And in that hat at one time, I must have had fucking 60 or 70, 80
Getting
lighters.
doubled.
I remember one day I saw my
Got
wife
home and
lighting
away
a
for
cigarette
each
with one of those lighters. I almost killed her. I go, what are you doing? Because I took a lighter. You have like 3 Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I go, I don't give a fuck if I got 8 Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Don't steal the doubles. They're for us. There was like 3 teams I couldn't get my hands on, but every other team I got my hands on. It was fucking tremendous. I remember still going in there one day and just picking up the whole. You know how they would put tray on
Tray.
top of the tray?
Yeah.
I just took the whole tray and walked out of it. Oh my God. And the guy's like, where you go? Leave me alone, all right? I gotta worry about you bothering me. Go get some sand. Go get a Medi Petty and put some cream on those feet before you insult me to death. Then you want me to go to your restaurant. You're gonna come up to me with those dry skinned feet.
oh my God.
Oh no, I used to kill those people. And one time I robbed my claim to fame. It's so weird.
Claim to fame.
It's so weird when you look back at your life. Like I was worthless. I knew I had no future. But I used to go to this jewelry store when I was 20 and 21, 20, 19. And I would just go in there. I was a broke kid. I missed my mother. And I would go in there. She liked jewelry. And I would just go in there and look at the bracelets and stuff. And it was more of a white jewelry store. It wasn't like a Cuban jewelry store. They have different type of jewelry. And one day I just asked the lady, can you show me those rings? And she took the tray out. She put it there and she walked away.
Walked away.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Just walked away. So while I was there one day, they had the same rings in the slots. So I just took a ring. I sat there. I waited for her to come back. Oh, no, these too expensive. Then I made believe I scratched my leg and I slipped the ring in my sweats out. I had shorts on. I left. I was like, that was interesting. Went to the gold store, got whatever. I got $400 for the ring and $10 for the diamond. They don't pay you for diamonds. That's why I love these people. Like, I'm going to go sell my diamond watch. Good luck.
Dude, I just tried to sell an
'Cause
old
they-
engagement
yeah.
ring back. This guy said, let me tell you something.
Yeah.
If you private sale it, you can get $3,500. I'll
Yeah.
give you $800.
Yeah.
I said, fuck
'Cause
you,
we don't
man.
give a fuck
I'll
about
save
the
extra
diamond.
for my daughter. Yeah,
Diamond means nothing.
nothing.
You turn it upside down, you see a little black hand with a Jew signal. You get those little fucking blood diamonds via Africa, via Israel. You know, they don't want those. Nobody wants to buy those fucking things. So, who do you think fucking is the point? Who you think South Africans go down there and get those diamonds on their
No,
own?
hell
Fuck
no. No.
They get big time Israel guys that come with those Jew hats with the big emerald over here. Like they run a lodge. They're part of that
A
fucking.
lot.
Yeah.
They're running lot.
They show up. They get 10 little black mulattoes, whatever. They tie little ropes around their waist and they throw them into that cave. The lead, they stick a thing of dynamite to, like they did the Chinese people in the 40s when they built the railroads. They would take a Chinaman and throw him over the fucking cliff with a strapped onto dynamite. You think I'm kidding you here?
No,
That's how they built the train. The Chinese built the trains in this country.
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
A lot of people don't know that.
Haven't heard China
Italians
in a
were there,
while.
too.
Huh?
Italians were there, too.
Italians were there
Yeah.
too.
But the Chinese did.
But yeah, so this jewelry store was called Michael's Jewelers. It's 37 years ago. Law of limitations is done, plus it's a Spanish jury.
Okay.
It's called Miguel's now. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Right there. 2 months later, I went in there again, did the same trick, took a ring.
Same lady?
They had 3 little different old ladies, but no alarm on the buzzer. No buzzer on the door. Come on.
Yeah.
I'd been in 1,000 jewelry stores with my mother growing up. There's always a buzzer on the door. No buzzer. I waited a month. I went in there one day in the summer with a football jersey on. There was a Burger King down the corner. So I go to the Burger King, get a chicken sandwich, and I cross the street to Gilberto's, get a Batito de Mame, a papaya milkshake, Cuban style. I would finish it. That would give me balls, and I'd walk right in there and steal something. So one day she drops a tray, and they're all engagement rings. I'm like, I'm thinking about getting engaged. She goes, what a great time of the year. You know, she drops off a tray of fucking engagement bands. I give her, some idiot comes in, hi, I'm looking for wristbands. Okay, she just leaves me there. This time I said, fuck 1 or 2. I picked up my shirt. I took the tray of rings. I put it under there.
The whole fucking tray?
The whole fucking tray, and just ran the fuck out of there. But on the run out, I saw they had a tray on the counter that you could spin it. It had gold chains and bracelets. And this is a very weird thing to say, but I planned on robbing that. I was just saving it for a rainy day. September 13th, 1982, opening game. Pittsburgh against Dallas in the heat of their rivalry on Monday Night Football.
Yeah.
Dallas at home. How's Dallas going to lose at home on a Monday night? You got a better chance of your mom getting raped by 10 black guys from Terre Haute, Indiana. And she lives in fucking Ventura County. You know what I'm saying? Like, they got to leave Terre Haute. They quit Columbia House, and they take a train. They probably work at Columbia House in Terre Haute, Indiana. That's the chances that you got of anybody beating Dallas on a Monday night. Pittsburgh went into Dallas and whooped them. I put the bet in with Camel Brett. He was my teacher at the time. We had graduated high school, but he was still cool. It's like me putting a fucking $4,000 bet with you. If you don't pay, they're going to come for you.
Yeah.
I can't do that to Sickler. As much as I was a criminal, and I thought about that gold chain thing, and I went down there, I walked the streets, and I saw how I was going to do it, what I needed, you know, what guys I could use. I was running out of there with that gold chain thing.
It's like the spindle with all of them hanging on it, right? Yeah.
Thousands and thousands of dollars. And I said, I'm going to do it. I had an attorney friend of mine. I asked him what would I get in trouble for. He said grand larceny.
Larceny, yeah.
And other shit, but you'll be out in fucking 2 weeks. I said, fine. I fucking got up that Thursday morning, which if it was the 13th, 14th, 15th, 16th, yeah, it was the 16th of September. Look it up.
1982.
I guarantee opening season, opening game, 1982. Look who it was.
Monday night
Football.
Steelers, Cowboys.
Pittsburgh, Cowboys.
September 16th.
I'm talking, this is when they were America's team.
That would be the Monday night game.
This was when Monday nights were, I don't know what the score was, but I know they went into Dallas and beat the fuck out of them. 1981, 82, 83 footballs, NFL season.
All right.
Monday night schedule.
Sunday, September 12th. Let's see. You think it's Dallas? Hold on.
Give me Monday the 13th. Look, I even remember what day it was. Who's better than you?
Pittsburgh, Dallas.
Where?
At Dallas.
Come on now. Come on now.
What was the final score?
I don't know.
36-28 Pittsburgh.
There you go.
And Pittsburgh was given 7.
I mean, 36 is a lot to put up on the Cowboys back then.
Oh, back then, this is horrible.
Yeah.
Like, first of all, they were given 7. And then when you called the bookie, it dropped to 5. Oh, big mistake. That's what we turned around and high-fived everybody. We got this sucker. All we got to do is win by 7. If that line, it dropped. Once the line dropped, we didn't know line.
It was Dallas minus 5.5. Over 42.
Who the fuck do you people think you're dealing with? Some fucking asshole? You people think like I'm fucking around. Like it dropped. All week it was 7, and it dropped to 5. And look, they gave you the hook.
Yeah, the half.
To really let you know they were going to fuck you in the ass. So me and 3 of my buddies were like, let's bet it 4 ways. And we bet it 4 ways. We got a gram of clove.
How much did you put down?
I think we bet 2,000 to win, 2,000 for the under.
For Dallas.
Yeah, we had Dallas in the under. What came in? The over, right? Yeah, we were born losers.
36-28.
Born losers. Losing with a tattoo on our head. All four of us. Assholes. 3 assholes. We've had 2,000 on the over, 2,000 on Dallas, and $2,000 parlay.
Damn. You put 6 on it?
So we had to come up with 50-something $100.
And the Cowboys almost came back, too, it says.
Oh, yeah. We almost came back, but it wasn't going to happen. I was there. The kiss of death was there. It was
82. Who was that? Is that Stallback?
It was
who was 82? Danny White?
Danny White, maybe?
Yep. Danny White. And then Bradshaw was.
Listen, every time you lose money when you gamble, you remember everything.
Yeah,
what your mother made for dinner. Who cooked what. Who brought onion dip. Who brought chips. You remember every bad fucking thing there is.
Dude. I cannot get over you. You're something else.
That Thursday, I got up. I told my buddy Timmy Holloway that Friday night, that Thursday night, he's still my buddy. We spoke last night, Timmy Holloway. And he put me to the test because I was the one like, listen, tomorrow I got to rob this thing. I had 3 friends at the time. They're as responsible as I was. But at that time, they had mothers. They had fathers. They had families. They were going places. You know what my odds of going places were at that time? Not much. I wasn't going anywhere. I was just waiting to get harpooned. I was just swimming in the water thinking life was a fucking joke. I would put bets in with bookmakers and tell them to suck my dick. There was this guy. In high school, there was this guy I put a bet in for like $1,000. This guy, I ducked him. Like, we were friends. And one day I put a bet in with him, and I ducked him for years. No, I'm lying to you. I ducked him for about 3 weeks, and one day he saw me playing basketball, and he pulled over with a fucking chain, like a real chain. And he goes, either you have my $220 or I'm going to start whipping you with this fucking chain. And 4 of my friends came over and said, look, you ain't doing nothing because we'll take the chain from you and fuck you up. He goes, I'm coming back in a couple of days. Guess what? That dude killed himself before he could ever come back. I was like, woof. I got away with that 220.
Sure fuck that.
Oh, my God.
So, yeah, that dirt. Like, I knew I had nothing going for me, so I didn't even want to tell my friends. I just told Timmy, I go, Timmy, pick me up at 9 in the morning. I'm going to go rob Michael's Jewelers tomorrow. I called my friend Stinky. We picked him up against his will. He's one of the guys that doesn't talk to me today.
Yeah.
Which, why would he?
Right.
After that version.
We call him Stinky.
And I ended up robbing the jewelry store without a gun at 10 in the morning in broad daylight.
Snatched it and hauled ass out.
And ran. And it's as fucked up as it sounds, it's what let me know I could do something with my life. Like, it let me know, okay, I'm not going to be an archaeologist. I'm not going to be a doctor. I'm not going to be a lawyer, but I could be a damn good thief because I already planned this all by my own and got away with it. That was the worst thing that could have happened to me. And then I got away with it because my hometown was corrupt. The owner was like, well, I don't want him picked up. If he gets arrested, he goes, he does 10 years, but he has to pay me restitution. I'm not looking for restitution. So the owner paid off the cops. They dropped off the investigation. He collected his insurance money.
Oh, he just wanted insurance.
And everybody fucking lucked out. Yeah, he must have put it in there that was worth $2 million.
Right, yeah, exactly.
So I saw him 2 years after that. He hugged me at a gas station. He's like, you're the man. You're the man. Fucking wild times when you think about your life and the lessons you learn, you know.
I don't know. I mean, I guess everyone's just a different person, but the idea that you liked having people looking for you and
loved it. Loved it.
So what changed when you went to prison? You fell asleep because you could finally relax. Like what you said, you could finally relax in prison. So it seemed like at a certain point you stopped liking it.
Not that I stopped liking it. It was just that was it. That I was caught. The game was over. I didn't have to do that again. I mean, don't get me wrong. Hour and a half after I walked out of that halfway house, I was back in between prison and the halfway house. Come on. They let me loose from the prison and told me to get myself to the halfway house.
They did?
Yeah. I called a friend, picked me up. Let's stop and get an 8-ball and then drop me off at the halfway house. Because whatever level you walk in with, you have to work backwards.
Okay.
So in between the halfway house, they're not responsible. So I smoked and toked. So when they finally pissed me, like, you just came from a rehab facility, and it's like you did coke 3 days ago. Nah, that was 4 years ago. So they start from there. I was the only person I was counting was myself, Ryan.
Yeah, that's right.
It's like when somebody tells you I'm shooting a special to tell Netflix. Good luck. You're gonna walk into Netflix and sell me your special that you taped at fucking Chattanooga at some fucking bar with some band in the back playing Sweet Home Alabama. Good luck. What else is going on in your life, brother?
Yeah, right now I'm just being a dad. Outside of comedy and everything, I'm just being a dad. I'm trying to be a better dad. I mean, I'm a good dad, but I want to be a better dad. I grew up by default without a dad because my dad died when I was 16. You talk about going back to shit you won't shake and changes you as a person. We found our dad dead in his bed. And then shortly after that, we had to move in with our mother. She left us. We were my brothers and I raised ourselves. She would come home once a week to do laundry. We wouldn't see her after that. And then moved in with my dad's mom when she kicked us out of the house. And then she dropped dead in front of me. I'm giving her CPR mouth to mouth. I mean, that shit, I'm dealing with it right now. It's mortality is what I think about a lot now, especially being a parent. And I go to therapy. I went to Dr. Drew told me to go see somebody. He's like, it's specific and there's an end to it. It's not just talking to someone. It's called EDMR. And, talk therapy, you just got a box of shit in your head and you open that lid and you just pull things out. And then when it's done, you put them back in there and you go about your shit. But this, for lack of a better explanation, is a type of therapy where when that stuff's out, it's like, we're not going to put that back in the box. We're going to move that shit over here. We're going to put that over in the garage. You don't need to deal with that. You don't need to deal with it, and figure out a different way to think about your shit, and then you'll be able to understand it better. So I've been a month in on that, and it's been pretty fucking interesting. And you just from talking, she'll sit and listen to me. Go, you want to know what I heard this hour? And then she'll lay it out, and she'll go, and I go, oh, and then her mom's my mom, and I'm my, and you start putting yourself in these positions of who you are now. And all of it's rooted in childhood. You worry about being a good parent because you didn't have one. Sometimes you overcorrect. But I'm pretty fucking even keeled. I'm relaxed with her. I don't yell at my daughter. I don't try not to raise my voice too. I get a little bit. I'm like, that's enough. Like that. She played me though one night. It wasn't too long ago. She wasn't listening to her mom. We're all walking in the grocery store and her mom's telling her to listen. She's not listening. I finally turned around and said, hey, that's enough. And she hid behind her mom's legs, but she hid like I beat the shit out of my kid. And these Santa Monica parents saw that and started looking at me. I was like, we ain't having any of that bullshit here. That's bullshit right there.
How old is your daughter now?
She'll be 5 in October.
Do you see the gap that you fill in her life?
Oh, yeah.
Is it just when you... Oh, and again, I'm not trying to be rude to anybody. We're in the comedy game. And a good guy came on this podcast once and alerted me to that. He goes, he's a musician, Rudy Sarzo, and he said that you have to assume, and it's true. I mean, 50% of us that are doing this together, that are friends, we have luggage.
Oh.
We have luggage. There's mental issues.
We're fucked up.
I've accepted it.
Yeah.
I've accepted these things.
Look, there's something wrong. Here's the thing. There's something off with every comedian. The fact that you want to get up and make a room full of strangers laugh, that's not normal. That's something off. But it's off in a beautiful way. It's taking this trauma. That's what my podcast is all about. You come on. It's highlighting the lowlights, the honeydews. You're taking all this negative shit that happened to you. And even through the tears and the anger and the frustration, the anxiety, the stress, the whatever, you're still finding a moment to figure out where that fucking funny is in there. And that's what I appreciate about comedians. I mean, I have even more appreciation sitting down week after week listening to these people take their fucking dark trauma and spin it into funny and just like, wow. And it's a different way to look at something than curling up in the corner and crying or self-medicating or any of that. So, she's 5. She knows she's going to hear all these podcasts. I can't lie to my kid. I can't ever lie to my daughter about drugs, drinking, my way we grew up. It's all on these. All she has to do is listen. So I think, honestly, I've always told her mom, if anything ever fucking happens to me, you have her listen to the podcast. She'll know who her real father is. But,
I write to my daughter.
You do?
I have a journal.
I would do
Jack's
emails.
Teller,
Yeah.
and every 3
great.
days I write what I'm feeling in the morning, what I'm feeling at night, what she learned for the day. I've been writing it for about 3 years. I want her to read these when I'm dead, you know. I want her to hear about my daughter from me. I want her to hear about the kidnapping from me. I want her to hear about all these things from me in time.
Right.
Right now, I'm just, what she's reading is, because when you're with your child, whether it's a boy or a girl, you just, I love to do a show about raising my daughter, but at the same time getting flashbacks to what I was doing. You know, what
all
was
the time.
What the fuck was on yesterday? Oh, okay. Beneath the Planet of the Apes or something. That came out in 1970. That makes me officially, whether I lie or not, 7 years fucking old. I was born February 19, 1963. I saw Beneath the Planet of the Apes in the movie theaters. And without adult supervision, me and 3 other fucking lunatics from the block told our mother we were going to be playing in the alley, and we disappeared for 2 hours to go see Beneath the Planet of the Apes, where they take their skin off and they show the Statue of Liberty on the beach tipped over and all that. That movie sent me for a loop. But just the fact that my mother didn't know where the fuck I was for 2.5 hours gets me angry.
Yep.
But then again, it shows the spunk I had by having the balls to go to the movie theater. So when I sit with my daughter and she's reading a dinosaur book on my lap, I don't know what the fuck she's saying about paleontologists and shit like that, but it's interesting because I'm filling that void. We talk to a lot of comics, and we're in contact with a lot of women that are comics.
Yeah.
You ever talk to a hot woman comic? No, you could fuck her if you tried, but at the same time, you know you're not going to get there because it's damaged goods. You're not putting it down. I have a lot of female friend comics that I could tell they're damaged goods, and I could tell where the damage comes from. You know?
Yeah.
Like with me, for years, I blamed everything on my mother. Guess what? It wasn't my mother's death that affected me. It was my father's death that affected me. At 3, because I didn't know anything.
That's right.
To this day, I don't know anything. So that's why I write in that book for her. Yeah, she's going to listen to podcasts. There's 2,000 of these somewhere. There's 2,000 of us. But I also wanted her to read my side of the story without the jokes, without the opinions. Just, this is what happened. Nobody else is going to tell you different. Nobody else should tell you different. You know, I think I'm going to cut the drug use down. That's the only thing I'm going to cut down a little bit. I don't want her to grow up thinking that her hero did drugs. We're our kids' heroes.
Oh, yeah.
Every time they hear us, man, I'm hungover from last night. That goes into their little head. Every time you hear, well, we're going to take you over to Lee's house. You're going to play with Madeline while me and the parents are going to go out and drink and party night. They hear that. When you drink a bottle in front of your son, he sees that.
Yeah.
When my daughter smells marijuana in the bathroom, I know that. You know what I'm saying? So I want to eliminate the drug use, the drug talk till later on, till she gets, I want her to get my youth. I want her to understand my mother's death, what I went through, those 5 years of being lost. You know, there's so many things that's what's great about parenting.
But the simple thing of all of it is, and you said it, it's just be there.
Be there.
That's it.
Shut your fucking
You don't need
mouth.
a fucking trip to Europe and all
How
this
fucking
bullshit
crazy is that?
and we're taking cruises and
How
just be
crazy
there.
is that?
Just be at the fucking games and show that you're interested.
That's it.
That's it. That is
all they
fucking
want.
it.
That's all they want.
Look, you lost your father at 3. I lost mine at 16. I can tell you that it wouldn't have mattered if I lived in a palatial mansion. It wouldn't have made that feel any better.
No, it wouldn't.
It doesn't matter how much fucking money we had or cars. It would have hurt just as bad. And none of that would have helped or fucking mattered. None of it. None of it made any difference. So just being there and showing a genuine interest is all you fucking really need to do. You are imperfect, you know?
You were in Minneapolis last week. How was it?
I sent you that picture up on the wall there. It was great, man. Rick and Tammy have great clubs up there. It's great fan base up there, too. Yeah, thank you. They are.
Nice hotel.
Yeah, great
good
hotel.
Food, good everything.
They
and
take
you've been
care
traveling a lot more?
Yeah, and I'm going to go back. I've got a show in Baltimore September 14th.
Where at?
It's called The Famous. It's these guys, man. They're Jimmy's Famous Seafood. So they heard me on Rogue, and they send me this fucking Baltimore care package, crab cakes, crab dip, crab. And I said, well, shit, man, when I come back.
Coco's any good?
What's that?
Coco's in Baltimore any good? COCO Crab House.
Oh, that's C&O, I think you're talking about.
Yes.
They're good, yes.
They've mailed them to you.
Yeah, but this place, same thing. Send it out. Matter of fact, I got 4 dozen and 8 crab cakes coming this Saturday to my buddies in Temecula. I'm taking my daughter down to go hang out with them. Yeah.
How fresh are they?
They're fresh, man. They're fresh. So I take her back, and I say, just as a thank you, I'm going to come in and have dinner there. I'll invite family. I had 30 people show up just to come see me and hang out at his place, and he ended up being in Greece. And the time, this is like 5 a.m. This dude is fucking, his name's John Minadakis.
What's the name of this restaurant?
Jimmy's Famous Seafood.
Got a pen over there?
I'll give you all the info.
Yeah, I'm going to order some of them.
I promise you.
Great crab cakes.
Dude, the best. And not just crab cakes. They got jumbo stump crab stuffed shrimp. I'm telling you, I'll show you. So I go in, and he's calling me to make sure me and my family are he's in Greece calling to make sure are they taking care of you? I said, yeah. So he said, they're going to take you on a little tour of the spot after, and then we're going to take your picture and put you on the Wall of Fame. And the Wall of Fame in there is The Rock, every fucking Raven, any NFL. I mean, it's big time people. So they take me upstairs, and it's now when I was a kid, we would go there every now and then to grab crab cakes and leave because my aunt lived in Highlandtown, and they're right on the edge of the city. And it used to just be their house. And, they didn't get permits or anything. Their dad built this fucking restaurant, and they took it to the next level. So they're doing tailgates. They're doing, if when Rogan came to town, they had a pre-party at their restaurant, and then you could pay it included a ticket, a meal, drinks, and a bus ride over to the arena and back. So you could tailgate there. They throw the biggest tailgate. I'm gonna be when I go back in Baltimore in September. Ed Reed's gonna host this one. That's my favorite football player ever. So I get to hang out with Ed Reed, meet Ed Reed. So I go upstairs, and they show me this fucking event room, and I was like, "You got to be fucking! This is a comedy club."
What's it seat?
It seats 200 with tables, or 300 no tables. But he's like, "I'll give you 100% of the door, but let me keep the tables in so I can make my money on food and drink."
Yeah, but I don't want people staying.
No, it's separated off. It's got its own bar in it, its own restrooms in it. It is piped for sound perfectly, and they do all the Ravens events there, everything. Like, they have it fucking down. So I said, shit. The other club won't even book me here in town. Why don't you let me do a show here? He's like, done. So I sold 2 shows out and went back last year. So this year, I'm already doing one on September 14th. So I'm going to make it hopefully a yearly, or at least every other year I go back and do a show there, because I just love going back to my hometown, and I don't care how big I get. I would love to keep doing a little show like that, and give back and keep the ticket prices cheap. People come in, and it's great food. So they're all eating before they come up. They're drinking. There's no minimums or any of that. You can get up and walk, serve yourself. His staff is first class. I mean, it's the fucking shit. So I'm going back there, and the little spot is called The Famous. He calls it The Famous, Jimmy. So that club in there is called The Famous. So I go do it like I've been doing. This will be my second one there, and I want to keep doing them with them. They're just great people.
What are the dates you got coming up?
I'll be out with Tom Segura in October. Well, I'm at the Ice House this month, Labor Day weekend. What is it? The 31st, I think it is. Saturday night.
Me too.
Are you there?
7:30 in Stage 2.
Yeah, I'm there doing the main room, and then Baltimore September 14th, and then I'm on. I'll be doing some dates with Segura again, but just go to RyanSickler.com. It's all there. All the dates will be there.
And the HoneyDew, how many days a week you doing that?
HoneyDew is 1 day a week out of your mom's house studios. The HoneyDewPodcast.com. Subscribe, check it out. It's all about we sit here and talk about, highlighting the lowlights, laughing at all those dark times. What else can you fucking do?
I love podcasting because every episode is something different.
Yep.
That's what I love about it. Some episodes we'll come in here and laugh our fucking asses off till we puke, Some of them we get into serious topics. Some of them we just talk about one topic. That's the great To me, that's the best thing about fucking podcasting, man.
No
And I'm
doubt.
going to be on the HoneyDew next month again.
Yeah, we only got to age 9 with you.
Yeah, we got to go.
We got fucking 47 years to go, bro.
Next time we'll cover 10 to 14.
Yeah.
We'll cover the fun years. You know what I'm saying? When I robbed Raul, I robbed this kid across the street from my house. As he was moving in, he moved in, and I saw him and his family get back in the truck and leave. So me and my buddies went in there and robbed him. And I ended up taking a stereo with 2 speakers, tremendous Fisher, with the components, the
that was a
8-track
good
cassette. But then guess what? Me and fucking Raul became friends. So he'd come over and he'd go, let's go play in your room. And I'm like, we can't. It's off limits. So for a year, Raul,
It's off limits.
how come I can't go to your room, man? Because it's a secret hiding spot up there. Ryan Sickler, always a pleasure, brother.
I love
Great
you.
to
Thank
see
you for having me on.
I love you with all my heart. If there's anything we could do for you, we're here for you. And I will definitely be
appreciate
on the HoneyDew next month before my Chicago date.
Yeah, come on.
So we could talk about 9 to the age of 15.
Yeah.
And again, we'll both be at the Ice House on the 31st. And the only other date I got on there is Friday the 13th. Wash that pussy and kill your cat. I'm at the Dallas. I'm at the Majestic Theater. I'm there with the guys who shot Kennedy. They'll all be there doing a gun display, showing you how they shot him from the Noli Bush. What do they call it?
Grassy knoll.
Yeah, the grassy knoll.
I took that tour.
The Noli, but you're a
Have you ever
sucker.
taken it?
No. Why would I take it?
Because once you get up in that window, you look out that window, you're like, there is no
way
motherfucking way.
There's no fucking
All you gotta
way.
do is get up in the window
There's
and look
no
like, nah,
way.
fuck
Nothing.
that.
You can't even see a tiny chick giving a tiny blowjob from that fucking window. They expect you, like the guy was Johnny Houdini. He had one eye that could look around the world. It's such a setup. And the grassy knoll, as soon as you walk into that area, it smells like Philadelphia today. It smells like gunpowder and blood and fucking people running for their lives. It's a fucking nightmare. Like I said, the 13th at the Majestic Theater in Dallas, and this 8:31 with my main man over in the big room, Sickler, and then on the 27th of September, I'm at the Chicago Theater with fucking Dean Delray and just added Kate Quigley. She's got to add 20 pounds to her pussy. I'm not taking it. Her pussy's too skinny to go to Chicago. You go to Chicago, women have big fucking snatches. I'm going to show up with Kate with that little chin. See, her pussy has like a little devil chin. She wears those bikinis. I'm like, there's no lump in there. I want to see that crab cake. You know how that has that lump crab cake? And you get a
It's
steak.
all about that lump, brother.
Where you get a steak at? Not Dan Tanner's, but the other place where they put the lump crab mixed with the thing. She's got to get like a pussy inserter.
You're talking about like the what is the place? Ruth's Chris.
Ruth Chris.
Yeah.
They got like lesbian pants with already mistletoes. What do you call those? Camel toes already in place. Whatever the fuck you call those things. And now for a word from our sponsors. Let me talk to you savages about something, all right? And this is as important as could be. Internet privacy is dead as we know it. That is why I use ExpressVPN. ExpressVPN runs in the background of your computer or your phone, and then lets you use the internet just like you normally would. You download the app, you click to connect, and Viola, you're protected. That easy. It shields your identity, no location tracking, and you are totally anonymous. You're like, Joey, how do I get it? All right, here we go. Grab a pen. Download the ExpressVPN app on your computer or phone. Push one button, and Viola, bam, you're protected. I don't even know who Viola is. She's probably
Voila.
She's probably 6'8", 280 pounds. Less than $7 a month with a 30 money back guarantee. That's what ExpressVPN does, all right? Like I said, internet privacy is dead. Find out how you can get 3 months free. Joey, what are you talking about? Free, cocksuckers, at expressvpn.com/church. Grab a pen. CHURCH. That's expressvpn.com. EXPRESSVPN.com/church. They're going to give you 3 months free when you buy your 1 year package, all right? Visit expressvpn.com/church to learn more and take back your privacy. Because listen, right now you're sitting there listening to a podcast and this little guy with a missing eye somewhere in a dungeon whacking off to you. You know what I'm saying? Look what happened to fucking poor Whitney Cummings. Don't put no pictures up, all right? Anyway, number 2.
Viola's.
The podcast is also brought to you by the best Vincero Watches. I got my aluminum debt on right now. It's the anniversary sale. It's on, guys. Vincero Watching is having their biggest sale of the year right now. You might as well get 2 or 3 of them so you look good. October, November, and New Year's Eve, you walk in there like you own the joint. The more you shop, the more you save. You can literally save hundreds of dollars, and this happens once a year. Everything at Vincero.com is on sale. Nothing is off limits. Vincero just dropped 2 new collections and a line of men's wallets. Are you ready or what? And they're all on sale. Everything. Products do sell out. Do not wait to buy. The holidays are 130 days away. Why be a jerk? Start shopping now. These will make the perfect gift for your niece, nephew, or your nephew, your uncle, your dad. When it comes to watches, this is the best bang for your buck. It's like buying a Subaru. You'll never have this chance to get a Vincero. You'll never see watches of this caliber on sale. You can't pass this deal this good up. Vincero is celebrating their 5-year anniversary. They got a lot to celebrate about, all right? Over 17,000 5-star reviews. So you know that they're doing something on the right track. If you've been wanting to check this brand out, this is your chance, and there's never been a better time to shop. They offer free shipping worldwide. Thailand, Hong Kong, I don't care. No more turning the fucking egg beater over. Vincero will get you the watch there. They got collections for men and women, and they offer engraving on select styles. So treat yourself or shop for a gift is what I'm talking about. Do me a favor. Go to VinceroWatches.com and take advantage of the great discounts on top of their already affordable watches. The quality, the workmanship, you cannot beat it. That's VinceroWatches.com and shop their biggest sale of the year. VinceroWatches.com. VinceroWatches.com. I want to thank Vincero. I want to thank ExpressVPN. I want to thank my cousin, CBDLion.com, the best. And I also want to thank Hims. Why go bald and lose your heart on? Go to 4hims.com right now. That's how we do it here. Me and Sickler, August 31st. I'm at the Majestic Theater in Dallas, September 13th. It's Bad Luck Day. Who gives a fuck? Hit your mother-in-law in the head with a ladder. You won't have to walk under it. And then on the 27th or whatever the fuck, go to the Chicago Theater, and they got tickets on sale for Kate Quigley, Dean Delray, and myself. All right? Stay black. Have a good week. And we'll see you motherfuckers nice and early. Tip-top Magoo Monday morning. August something. I don't know what the fuck the date is. I love you guys. Stay black. Kick this motherfucking Mule Lee.